Hello and welcome to Still Got Legs, a Doctor Who Rewatch podcast brought to you by Another Happy Studios. Christmas time with two different doctors sounds like a recipe for success. Hello everyone, welcome to Still Got Legs, the only Doctor Who podcast in the world. There are no others, stop looking for them. My name's Nathan, as always. I'm joined by my companion as we go on with this journey through time and space and rewatch Dr Who. His name is Lawrence. Hello.
Hello. It sounded like you were inspired by the Victorian street urchins.
Yeah, there was a bit of that. It was a bit, hello mate,
hello governor.
How you doing, cock? What?
Oh, hello, governor takes on a different meaning this episode, doesn't it?
Orange spoilers.
Okay, yeah, sorry. Hello, Nathan. Merry Christmas.
It's not Christmas, Lawrence. It is past Christmas now. It's January.
Oh, my mistake. Well, then, Merry Christmas for this episode specifically.
Thank you. I had a very festive time watching it.
I just realised we're probably gonna be doing two Christmases in like a little over a month. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, not even like in 3 weeks or so it'll be Christmas again. So.
My gosh.
So and fucking hell, when we get to Capaldi's era, they took a year out and it was back to back Christmases. So.
Oh really? Double Christmas.
Double Christmas when we get there. So that'll be fun.
My gosh, there's too many Christmases to come. But speaking of what's to come first, Nathan, shall we talk about today's episode, which is what? I set you up. I didn't take it that time.
I know, but it's thin ice is all I'm saying. It's thin ice, sorry. Okay? This is Series 4, Episode 14. What? The Next Doctor, written by Russell T Davies, directed by Andy Goddard. It is a Christmas special. There is no regular companion because they're all dead or have forgotten who they are, or have married someone else, or whatever the fuck is going on.
Yeah.
So it's just David Tennant, and he needs a sexy companion to join him on this adventure. So who better than David Morrissey?
Right. We jested last week that this was an episode that we were very much like, yay! Can't wait to rewatch this one.
Yes, because my memories of it were just very bland and boring and not great, and they were mostly right.
Right.
There's some good stuff sprinkled throughout, but it is not a certified banger. Okay,
no,
it is very just, and that was an episode of TV that I watched.
If I could describe it in maybe, I don't know if this is one word or two words.
Well, you should be able to know.
No, because I don't know if people. It's an expression. I don't know if people use it as one word or two words. But it's lukewarm.
It's 2 words.
Yeah, but then you wouldn't describe something as just Luke, would you?
Hyphenated.
So does that make it 2 words?
No. It's 2 words that are hyphenated.
I don't know if we're just waffling on this. I don't know if either of us know this.
Neither do I. Shut up. Whatever.
All right. It's Luke. It's the way that this episode kind of works for me is like, it goes, what if we had a really interesting concept for an episode of Doctor Who and then paired it with the stupidest shit you've ever seen?
But also didn't do that interesting concept as well.
I think it does a bit of the interesting concept.
I feel like it gives you an idea of an interesting concept and then goes, oh, but that's not what this is.
Yeah. But then the Doctor saved the day, figured it out, and never mind, I guess. Yeah. I think it's an episode where the story really runs away with itself. I get the impression Russell was just drinking. Was it Russell that wrote this?
Yes, I said that. Was you not listening?
I was listening, but I forget because I'm, doing other stuff.
Russell's writing them all.
He can't be stopped. He's a man in charge.
No, we're in that period where it's like 7 episodes in a row that he's written because it's the specials and the finales and everything.
Oh, right. So, yeah, he's really saying goodbye. It's the Doctor Who at this point.
Mm.
Yeah, I don't know. I like to imagine Russell T Davies kind of like just getting progressively more drunk as he writes this, because it starts quite subtly and it starts like but like the ideas and the stuff it's exploring. I know there's a little rope chase and everything else, but like it starts relatively tame, and then by the end of it, there's fucking Megazords and shit in
Megazords.
Victorian. Well, there is. It's a Megazord, isn't it?
I mean, yeah, I guess it's not how I describe it, but yeah.
How would you describe it? What's your pop culture reference for it?
Mecha Godzilla, but Cyberman, and also just looks horrible.
Yeah, it does. It looks very, very terrible.
But Lawrence, enough about all that. Let me tell you a story. All right.
Oh, please.
The TARDIS has landed in Victorian era Christmas, which is quite nice. Ten seems to be having a good fun time. We don't know how long it's been since he committed genocide or whatever. So it seems to have been a little bit of time anyway. He's got a smile on his face. He's happy that it's Christmas Day or whatever. He seems to be having a good fun time. There's something about Victorian Christmas. It just feels right, doesn't it? It's that,
it does, yeah.
Like that Dickensian aesthetic and stuff. It's very. It's like this is what Christmas looks like, really.
It's a great setting for it, and like
yes,
there's something about the snowiness of London, and like there's everywhere has like a light dusting of snow.
You there, boy?
Yeah, there's something. I don't know what it is. Right? Do you know the graphic novel From Hell?
No.
Oh, this isn't going to work as a reference at all.
Okay.
There's people might know what I'm talking. It's quite a famous book cover. I think it's by that guy that writes all the fucking comics. He not all of them.
Mark Millar.
Him or Frank something.
Frank Millar.
Yeah, it might be one of the Millars.
Mark Millar, Frank Millar.
One of the two. No, it might not even be one of the two. There's probably people screaming at home. But there's a cover of a graphic novel which is quite famous called From Hell. And it's a guy with big, looks like a Victorian guy with white hair and big mutton chop sideburns. There's something about that for me that is synonymous with Christmas. Every old man looks the same in this.
It's true, yeah. When they go to that funeral and they're like, there's all these old men, you're like, you're all just the same bloke.
Yeah.
Like,
oh, look, they've done that thing where they made two people again. Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, it's Christmas. It's Dickensian Victorian Christmas. He does the funny little "You there, boy? What day is it?" But in just his regular 10 voice. Is that the Outnumbered boy?
Oh, now that you say it, yeah, it might be.
I think it was the Outnumbered boy.
Does the date match up?
It was about that time. Yeah.
Yeah. It might just be the Outnumbered boy.
Well, there we go.
There we are then.
Maybe it was. Maybe it wasn't. Who knows? But yeah. Anything to add?
Yeah, he's this little street urchin. He just.
Well, it's Christmas Day, sir.
Yeah, you fickle something.
You fickle. Where you been? It's Christmas Day, sir.
I love these exaggerated voices. I know it's ridiculous, but I'll never get tired of like pop culture trying to convince me that everyone sounded like this back in the day. Yeah. Like I know they probably. It's that the Auntie Donna sketch, wasn't it? The same tie.
Oh yes, Lord Wiggles.
Yeah.
You won't believe it, Lord Wiggles, Stadge.
Two men have worn the same tie at their place of employment.
Mother of God. Oh, Ben Russell, very funny man. Yeah, it's true.
This episode so far is just us naming pop culture things. But anyway, so it's 1851. The Doctor
is it?
Yeah, Missed it is.
That.
Yeah.
Missed that.
It fuck's sake. It's a nice year, but a bit dull. It won't be this year, Doctor, is what I will say. Someone screams, Doctor. He whips him. What?
What does that mean?
Oh, it's not going to be dull, is it? This year, it's Christmas Day. It's all kicking off. I wouldn't if I was in Victorian London and a big cyber Megatron fucking came out of the Thames, I wouldn't describe it as a dull year.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah. All right,
you with me? You got me?
Yeah, I'm with you. Yeah.
All right. Someone screams, Doctor.
Yes.
And that's already straight away something. Because, we've said he's on his own. He's kind of just meandering, seeing what's about. And then someone notices
it wouldn't be uncommon to call for a doctor, though, would it? It's a very common, it's a title, really, isn't it?
I never really considered that, yeah.
Could just be someone calling for a doctor.
Yeah, I suppose that's more likely than someone calling for a very specific Time Lord. Yeah.
Yeah, this very one specific man. But it turns out it is, though. So,
I mean, yeah, so, like, yeah, who's really wrong?
Yeah. Someone's calling for the doctor, and he's like, hello, it's me, I'm the doctor, what's going on? And then she's like, who the fuck are you? I'm calling for the doctor, mate.
Yeah.
And then, David Morrissey shows up.
Nathan, it's time for suit talk.
Okay.
As far as we know, this is the doctor.
Okay.
So we are discussing his outfit.
I should say, in context, time-wise, at the time of this episode airing and in the lead up to it, David Tennant had announced that he was leaving the role. So people were aware that David Tennant was stepping down. But the next Doctor had not been announced yet. Okay, that came.
So
in
this
January.
is a real cheeky move.
So this is a very like time specific, like context wise, time specific. This is a very like Russell rubbing his hands together and being like, "Oh, I'm gonna play them so bad," and stuff. You know,
I've seen people refer to this one and the Doctor's daughter as Russell's two biggest clickbaits, like of just being like, "Oh, look what I did there. I enticed you." But I mean, like.
The Doctor's daughter isn't clickbait at all. You think that, but
no.
I don't. Because it is exactly what it says on the tin.
No, I know, but it's...
Just because you don't think that's a legitimate form of parenting.
Oh, give off!
And you hate adoption as well.
For fuck's sake. It's not even adoption. That's not what happens.
No, but that's just something else. You hate adoption.
That's what a showrunner's job is, though, right? Like, hype up the Christmas special, like get people watching.
Well, I think there's a bit more to his job than that, but yeah.
No, but that's a part of it, and it was obviously intentional to boost some Christmas Day ratings, go out on a big high.
I don't think they need the not in this era. They don't need the boost for Christmas Day ratings. They were doing fine.
What was the last one? Was it Voyage of the Damned? Was the last Christmas?
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess they were doing very fine then. Yeah, considering that's still like one of the highest.
But also the last episode was like one of the biggest episodes of Doctor Who of all time. So like
that's very true. Yeah.
So they're fine.
All right. Well, listen. Let's move away from me being silly and talk about suits.
Okay, suit talk. What do you got? What do you got for me?
I love David Morrissey's vibe as the Doctor. I could do without some of the sexism, but I like his overall. I think it matches him very well. Like he's got this kind of ego to him. He's
but are we talking about David Morrissey or are we talking about his look here?
We're talking about both, but it feeds in. It's
right.
So stick with me, right? I like he's very kind of. At first, he seems pompous. He introduces himself as like the Doctor, the one and only, the best, or something with a little wink, right? And then you pair that with this kind of brown overcoat, very reminiscent of another Doctor's famous look. Then you pair it with like...
Is it brown?
It's brown. It's definitely brown. It's a lighter brown.
It's a lighter brown.
It's like a beigey brown. If you will meet me in the middle.
I might be more tempted to call it a darker gold myself.
A darker gold? Okay. Write in, people. Let us know.
Stop every little thing. Stop getting people to write in.
It's the built-in way to move it on if we've reached an impasse.
No, it's not. We can just, I don't know, just move on. We don't need this ultimate fucking decision.
All right, he's got like a burgundy red kind of waistcoat, maybe a bit lighter than burgundy. And what's the gold tie thing? Because it's not a tie, but it's like an old man Victorian tie.
Like a cravat.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
I love
ascot,
his.
Maybe.
Oh yeah, maybe. Yeah. Because you still get fancy pricks wearing them. Yeah. I love his whole look, but the one thing I'm specifically happy about is it doesn't feel timeless. Like the 10th Doctor's running around in a modern day suit and fucking trench coat and stuff, right? I know it's outdated now, but it's still far more modern than 1851. But I like that this Doctor's look. There's a little bit of foreshadowing in that it's very rooted to how a fancy Victorian man of the era would dress.
I like it as a normal outfit.
Yeah.
I don't like it as a Doctor outfit, okay?
Yeah, okay.
It feels like it feels like a generic Doctor outfit. It feels like if there was a Doctor that we didn't know or something, or like there was like, it feels like the art. It feels like the outfit you'd draw the next Doctor in a concept art sort of thing.
Okay, right, yeah.
It feels like the first step, but it's not quite finished. You know,
they haven't perfected it. Yeah,
yeah. It feels like if someone has like a generic OC Doctor, like, and they do a cosplay of that, it feels like this might be something they'd wear. It just feels like it's a very generic idea of a Doctor Who outfit, but not an actual Doctor Who outfit. If that makes sense.
Like a surface level interpretation of kind of thing.
Exactly. Like if I got someone to draw me an outfit which the next Doctor could possibly wear, this is what they would come up with, and I'd be like, yes, that makes sense. Yeah. But no, we're gonna do something more personalized and better. And
as like a draft one situation.
Yes.
I do think there is an interesting component to like that limitation though, because like, you know, not to tip the episode's fucking hand too early, right? But
no spoilers.
Yeah, there would be reasons why this outfit would be limited to what was around.
I know, but I'm just saying, as a Doctor Who outfit, which I mean, it's not technically.
Yeah,
but, you know, as a Doctor Who outfit, it just doesn't have it for me.
They did well for this specific podcast to pick the most flamboyant man in Victorian England at the time to do this too.
Yeah, it's true.
It's a good thing Jackson Lake had a frivolous closet.
He was a very frivolous man. He was a rich man. He's throwing his notes around like he's bloody, I don't know, like a very rich man.
Like a rich man of the era would.
Exactly.
I was about to say Scrooge, but that's famously not what he did with his money until the end.
No, it was very tight pursed and which is a thing apparently.
Yeah, he just snarled.
He just, I don't know, bah humbug or whatever he said.
That is what he says. What do you make of David Morrissey's vibe as the next Doctor?
I actually think it's quite good, to be honest. I think he actually would have made a good Doctor Who in another life.
I agree, yeah.
David Morrissey's a good actor. You know, he's got a lot of range to him. He's capable of a lot of stuff. And I think he could have had a good run as the Doctor. There are moments in this, like even when he's just having a little bit of fun and being a little bit cheeky and stuff. And I think it quite works, really. And I will say, like, the opening, I think it's a good opening with them like both coming together and being like, allons-y, and having that little look. And
I love that again and this is what I mean about the episode. I think being a bit more subtle in the beginning, if you excuse the rope sliding thing.
We'll talk about the rope in a minute.
We will, yeah. But like both of them doing the allons-y, it's just another little nod to like this is
doesn't
the
quite
echo.
make sense, doesn't it?
Yeah. It's like the echo of a past Doctor. But it's not. But that's something that I love about this. That there's nothing to him that feels unique. He's not. He doesn't. And I think David Morrissey nails it. Where he's like, he doesn't feel like a fully fledged, like a fully fleshed out interpretation of the Doctor. Like you say, there is that element of it feels like an impersonation, down to his costume and his performance. But that's not to say he's like doing a bad job of a Doctor. He's doing exactly what the script calls for, which is really cool. It is,
yeah. So we get this in, we go to the credits, blah, blah, blah. We have a cyber shade. So this is something new. It's interesting. But it's
something.
Like, it's something, but it also, like, they couldn't decide what it was, I think. Because, like, it's like the Doctor says, it's like, oh, like a primitive form of the Cybermen, and, like, maybe it's like a dog's brain or some shit. So it's like growling and snarling like an animal at times, and
it
then
like
it's
tilts its head like a dog getting its attention. Yeah,
it tilts its head. It's like runs around on all fours like a dog man or whatever. But then he's in some weird, just all black bodysuit as well.
Yeah.
But then also they're like later on we see it as just like a butler as well, and it's just like driving the cart, and he has very good, ma'am, on the way to go and stuff. Like, what is it? What's going on?
If I can be perfectly honest, I feel like the Cyber Shade's only reason for existence is they needed a Cyberman-esque figure to climb up a wall and to also drive a car, and they can't do that with the Cybermen outfits that they've got.
Yeah, maybe.
I think that's the entire reason it exists. And like what's like as the helmet, it looks really cool. That's a cool concept for like a redesign of a Cyberman, I think. A bit wider of a face. The kind of the handles are a bit more diagonal. I like that, but then it's just in this kind of like woman in black veil type.
It's
dress.
just like a big, just like a onesie, but just like but like not even like a big sleeping bag, really. Just like
a sleeping bag that someone took scissors to and shredded it up. Yeah.
I don't know. It's just weird.
It's not. It's a design which like its being is like okay. It doesn't like it's not a major part of the episode, but it certainly is like. That one could have cooked for a bit longer, I think.
Yeah. But anyway, it drags them up the wall, which is all good fun, I guess. And then
I quite like this scene. It's so stupid.
Well, they get dragged like into this like warehouse area, and then they're like sliding along on their bums, and then like, oh no, the window's coming. It's gonna jump out of the window and take us with it. Can they not let go?
I thought this, but then like the close-ups that it has on their hands, their hands seem like semi-wrapped up.
Yeah, but then once Rosita cuts the rope, they just immediately let go.
But I think that's the slack. I think the slack obviously then loosens because it's not being pulled anymore. But I'm also with you in the sense that the close-ups very much look like binds that could be escaped from.
It seems it was very easy to get out of. They didn't seem to be locked in there.
No.
Really. But,
I think they were too busy having a good time, to be honest.
Well, being dragged on your ass across a stone floor in a warehouse doesn't seem like fun, but...
No. Did you watch The Confidential with this?
Yeah, there was a little quad bike.
So good. They had like little metal sheets under their bums.
Yeah, exactly.
That was quite fun. I like how much fun they had with it, though. Like do you know what? It's nice to see. Maybe this is 10 repressing. You spoke earlier about his vibe of the opening. He's in relatively good spirits, considering the last frame that we saw from the last episode was him being devastated.
You literally type in depressed into a GIF search bar and you'll find an image of him from the last scene that we saw him in. So
it's nice to see 10 in high spirits. I don't know if that is just like repressing deep pain and trying to just have fun on an adventure.
Almost certainly.
But yeah, I quite like the or maybe it's behind the scenes of like Russell just not wanting to bum everyone out on Christmas Day, like the general British public watching. But either way, it's nice to see Tennant having fun playing the Doctor, especially because we're wrapping up his episodes now, so it's good to see him have a nice bit of levity, a bit of silliness.
We are in the home stretch. This is officially the beginning of the specials, which is his final few episodes. So not long to go with the old boy, and then we're moving on to what some would say better things, but. You know, I wouldn't.
The next episode specifically?
Oh, no, I mean the next Doctor.
Oh, okay, right, yeah. Look, right, so where do we go from there? We've got David Morrissey.
I have no idea, to be honest with you. I completely...
Parts of David Morrissey's life are missing. Right, hang on. Let's establish this now. How are we referring to the Doctors?
Well, we'll just say David Morrissey.
Okay.
David. The two Davids.
Yeah, that makes it even harder. So David's Doctor, parts of his life are missing.
No, don't say that. Just say David Morrissey. Okay.
The David Morrissey Doctor has missing stretches of memory. It's the first thing that tips the Doctor off to being like, maybe this isn't exactly what it is. Yeah.
Because he's like a Doctor, a legend with some memories missing. Am I right? And he's like, way. Yeah.
It's exactly like that.
Yeah.
But he does reveal that he's been, they've just seen the Cyber Shade, but there's still quite a comically silly kind of, the Cybermen are at work in London town. It's like, yeah, I know, we just saw him.
Yeah. You wouldn't believe me, sir, but they are creatures from another world. Whoa.
I like the comedy of all of this. It's
good,
very
yeah.
fun to like.
David Morrissey is very, I don't know, he's got this very like over the top nature about him all throughout the episode, which I quite enjoy. Even when like he's Jackson Lake at the end and stuff, he's still got this
Bravo to the Doctor.
Yeah, this big bravado about him. But yeah, you love The Walking Dead, okay?
I don't.
You do. You got all those books.
I like the comics of The Walking Dead. Yeah, quite a lot. Yeah,
and you love the show.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
And so David Morrissey, what was his deal? Didn't he? Wasn't he obsessed with like dead kids or something?
Yeah. So
he had like a collection of dead kids or something.
Yeah. No, I think they were his kids. I think like he had like 3 kids or something that were zombies, but he couldn't let them not. Like he couldn't shoot them in the head. Like so he liked seeing them move around because I guess he pretended they were still alive. Like he combed their hair and shit. It was very strange.
What a weird man.
Yeah. He's a lot weirder in the comics. He's out doing all sorts of sex crimes in the comics.
Did he ever... Is he the one with the eye patch?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, there we go. We learn something new every day.
This was after this, right? He must have done...
Oh, yeah. This was way after. Yeah.
Yeah. But no, yeah. So anyway, the Cybermen are at work in London town. There's a cool new Chief Cyberman design. I say cool.
It's not new.
It's a lick of paint.
No. He's got a little black bit on it.
He's got like a rank, I guess, is what it is.
It's not really new, though.
No, because haven't we seen the Cyber Controller?
We've seen the open brain thing before.
Was that John Lumick?
That was, Trigger, I think.
Yeah, Trigger.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we have seen elements of it before. I think there might just be a bit of reusing and a bit of... Yeah. We're not going to use the Cybermen again this era, so we may as well just fuck up some of the costumes.
Well, the Cybermen, they do have the Cybus logo on them at this point.
Yeah.
The Cybus Industries logo. So I'm like, so how are they here? Because they're from Pete's world. But then it is explained later on in the episode. I
was waiting to see if they would address it, because I'm like, huh.
They did, to be fair to them. They didn't just forget about it, but no, they did. They like fell through the void or whatever. It doesn't really matter, but they're just here now. What's going on?
We get some sexism, Nathan.
We do, but it's like it makes sense.
It's of the era sexism.
It's of the era sexism.
Yeah. It's sexism nonetheless, but it is forgivable in context.
Well, but the real Doctor seems like he seems fine with it for some weird reason.
He does.
Like, he's watching it from afar, and like David Morrissey's like, "Go back to the TARDIS, Rosita. This is no work for a woman or whatever." And she's like, "Well, fuck you, all right," because fair play to her. Yeah. But then the Doctor's like watching from afar, but then he's just got this like cheeky grin on his face as he's watching him say, "Go away, woman." Like, okay.
He gets this is jumping way ahead, but there's a moment later on where he's like. The 10th Doctor turns around to Rosita and is like, "You should probably," and she's like, "Don't even try it." So he tries to get involved in the scene.
He does.
He's like, I don't mind a bit of that.
Finally, my chance to get involved. He's had enough.
He has. He's had right enough. But yeah, so this is another thing that like, I think it's not just like of the era. You know when Tarantino puts the N-word in his movies because he's like, I can. It.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I said so.
Yeah. No, it was imperative that I wrote a movie set in cowboy times in the 1800s, okay? I needed... It makes sense that they'd say this, okay?
Yeah.
It's not excessive, actually. I think it's accurate, you'll find.
Yeah, there's not one on every page. Right?
No, I needed to play this character who also says it. That's not true. He doesn't, but still. It's funny to say that.
We have fun with Tarantino. Even if half of our image of him is completely made up.
But it's like Nolan. Like, a lot of my Nolan stuff is made up, but it's also very funny.
It's like a genuinely really good guy.
Well, not in my head.
No. But no, I don't think it's elements of this. I think it's more, this is another thing to tip. There's so many clues that like the Doctor wouldn't do that. The Doctor wouldn't. Yeah. I know we just joked about the Doctor literally doing that, but the Doctor wouldn't outrightly say, "This is no place for a woman." Yeah. This is the ideals of a man from this time.
Not in 2008, anyway.
No.
Yeah.
But no, I quite like that little. It's just another little. Did you catch that?
Yes, but this is the thing, because there are a few little "did you catch that" moments, and then they like break into the house, and then there's like. Did you catch that? Did you catch that? Did you? And it's like, I get it. I know. I can fucking. We haven't even had the reveal, and I know exactly what has happened.
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
It's so completely obvious the way they frame it. They're like, they break into this guy's house, and then they're like, "Oh, Jackson Lake, he mysteriously went missing." And we found these little info stamps which contain information on certain people. And I was found with my memories missing, but with this info stamp and everything. Like, okay, I can do simple mathematics. Okay,
yeah.
I can put 2 and 2 together and see what's happened here.
It's simple plot stuff, right? It's very simple plot stuff. That is there. If there is a character who has died, but there is no body, and then there is a character who is a mystery character.
Yeah,
they're the same fucking person.
They are. They're one in the same. Yes. It's very obvious, but
it is.
It's a bit of fun when we see David Morrissey's sonic screwdriver, which is just a screwdriver,
and he has the most thinly veiled reasoning for it being sonic. He's like, it makes a noise. That's sonic. No,
is it?
No, it's not.
What does sonic even mean?
But that's like me saying, I can listen to this. I just banged the desk. Do I have a sonic hand? No.
I didn't hear you bang the desk.
Oh, maybe my mic is too powerful, and it.
No, it's because Zoom cut it out. But
well, it'll be on the recording.
Yeah, it'll be on the recording. Yeah.
Do I have a sonic hand, audience? Write in.
Shut the fuck up.
So with all of this info stamp, not even a reveal. It's a reveal for anyone paying attention, but the script pretends we haven't figured it out yet.
Yeah.
You get this really weird scene, I think, of like, and it's a punchline. It is a gag. But the doctor goes, you have a watch, is that right? And he's like, I do, yes. And he's like,
a fob watch.
Yeah, and he goes, ancient stories speak of a tale that if opened, this myths and legends have it that someone could conceal their. You've done this like 3 times. What do you mean ancient myths and like all of this? You've done this yourself about 3 times.
It's a joke, isn't it?
I know it's a joke, but it made me laugh because the doctor was very like, if stories of old are to be believed, and it's like stories of like last week for you.
Yeah, he is like, legend says that sometimes Time Lords can conceive. You've done this, we know.
Yeah, and that's the thing, we know this as well,
and you've done this multiple times, so we know. Yes, it's just the build up to that, and it's a fun little joke as well.
It is a silly little gag.
Like the music swells, it's like this big moment that's building up. You think there's going to be like a burst of Time Lord energy or whatever inside the watch, but it's just like whoop, and then something falls out. And it's like, oh no, maybe not. I
wanted the return of the soundbite. It's a TARDIS. Regeneration. That
would have been good. Yeah.
I would have enjoyed that. David Tennant's whistle impression of the Sonic is clean as fuck.
It's quite good, yeah.
It's a very good whistle.
Could have probably been 80 yard.
It probably was. Was it 80 yard? Do you reckon?
I don't know. Probably. Very clean from the day, is what I'm saying.
Yeah. That's true. Yeah. Not a single bit of background.
I can't hear you.
Is he cutting out?
Yeah, I can't hear you do it.
Well, just audiences will know this, but that was.
Okay.
If I was editing this, I would have just inserted a sonic screwdriver sound effect in there.
Maybe I did.
Maybe. Info stamps are found at the dead guy's house. We've already said this, but we see what they are. They're basically just a PowerPoint presentation of compressed memories.
Yeah, but then also a bomb or whatever.
Yeah, or a laser.
Yeah, just a big laser gun or whatever.
They are. If he emits a light, it's a weapon.
Sure, yeah. I don't know how, but It makes perfect sense. And then the Doctor will say some weird shit like, "Oh, chromatic feedback loop through the fucking regeneration energy or whatever." You know, just fucking bullshit. And like, oh yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, why not? Yeah, it is very funny that it's basically just like it's antithetical to the idea of what an info stamp is.
Yeah,
right, because blasting that into someone's mind should either dazzle them for a bit, or maybe by logic sense, like just make them very clever or knowledgeable about something specific. But no, it just blows them up.
Yeah, it just blows them up. Yeah, sure.
Yeah, very fun. I have got a note that says I do like that 10 just can't help himself. Like he's pretending to be John Smith, his usual alias. But as soon as Jackson Lake like sits down with the info stamp and has a bit of an introspective moment, he starts running around being like, "Oh, if the blah 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 and the chronon blah blah blah," and it's like, dude, just you're giving this man an identity crisis.
The second the Cyberman shows up, he drops the act entirely. He just like he picks up a cutlass and he's like, "I'm the Doctor, and I'm," you know.
So I do this now. This seems to be like a recurring thing I do where I talk about Doctor Who props that I had as toys.
Okay, and you get to show off how rich you was as a kid, was it?
Yeah, exactly.
To me, the poor kid who didn't have any of these toys.
Yes, because for some reason, people genuinely believe that I was buying sonic screwdrivers for 200 quid. Also, you've got the new sonic screwdriver and I haven't.
Yeah, because I'm an adult. Okay. I know that's the reason.
Yeah, I'm an adult, so I've got a toy, all right?
I wanted to buy that new one that came out this week, but I couldn't. But yeah.
I'm sorry about that. I'm sorry to hear.
It's not good.
Maybe I'll get it. Maybe I'll get 2 and keep them.
Shut up.
So I'm going to give you a little guess here. There are 2 props that feature in this scene quite prominently. Which one? Then and it doesn't have to be Doctor Who specific. But which one do you think I had?
The sword.
I did. I had the cutlass.
They sold the cutlass?
No, not a Doctor Who one. This is just a cute little way of me saying I had a cutlass.
All right, so you just.
They also didn't sell an info stamp.
Yeah, I can. They could have sold like an info stamp, like could have been like one of those viewfinder things. You know,
a projector with the thing on it.
Oh, maybe like a projector. Or you look through it and it has like slides and stuff. You could have done one a Viewmaster or whatever they were called.
Oh man, get us in the offices.
Yeah,
we'd make BBC a lot of wedge.
Fuck character options. Give the license to us, mate. We'll sort them right out.
Okay. Hey guys, remember this info stamp from a decade ago?
All the kids are gonna want one.
Yeah, exactly. They love them. From this critically panned episode of Doctor Who.
Yeah.
But yeah, so he has a little cutlass. He has a little. I do like that he whips out an umbrella, and it's just obviously.
Well, what was the other one? You said 2 props.
No, I didn't have the info stamp. I was trying to trick you.
Didn't. Okay, right, okay.
But yeah, so he also does something in this scene which is something I've always thought would help, especially in like Army of Ghosts and Doomsday when there's Cybermen feature quite prominently walking up and down flights of stairs.
Yeah.
Just fucking a stern kick.
Yeah.
Just boot him.
Seems like the logical solution to me.
And it buys him a bit. It buys him a little bit of time. Yeah.
It's good, yeah. But you can't go around kicking Cybermen all day long.
No, it will run out.
Yeah.
But like
I feel like that's a one trick sort of thing. You get one of those. And then
because they'll foresee it as well, and you've got if they grab your leg, you're fucked.
Yeah. Well, yeah, exactly. They could electrocute you.
Yeah, they could do a deletion.
What's going on with these Cybermen? Because I swear, sometimes they have guns, but sometimes they don't. Do they not have guns in Doomsday?
Yeah, they had wrist cannons.
They had the wrist cannon guns, didn't they? Yeah, but then sometimes they don't.
Look,
what's going on?
They've already got the info stamps. They can only have one handheld cannon.
It just seems like they're very limited by walking up to someone Frankenstein style, and then that's hard to say, and then electrocuting them with like the grip of their palm. It seems like it's a very inefficient way of like killing someone. When you could just do it like a blast from afar.
One of my next notes literally says that like the Cybermen. Well, no, not one of my next notes. But it's a bit later on. But like the Cybermen seem extremely easy to evade.
Yeah, they're just big metal boys.
Yeah, the cemetery where they're cleaning up all the old From Hell cover men. Like, there's a few bird's eye view shots of like the cemetery getting massacred, but like there's a space there, there's a space there. Run! Stop tripping over graves and just run.
I mean, it's easy to say that when you're not running in a graveyard, but
I mean, yeah. But...
Also, I thought about this though as well, because I was watching The Confidential, and they were doing this scene, and it's like it's in a graveyard. I'm like, what are like the film? Is there not some kind of rule about filming in graveyards or something? Because it feels weird to just like, and I know they're like old graves or whatever, but it feels weird to just have like a bunch of people running all over these graves and then having them pretend to be killed by a big giant robot.
Huh, yeah, I've never considered that.
It feels odd, doesn't it?
It feels disrespectful, yeah.
It does a little bit, yeah.
I'd love it. If I'm dead and buried and David Tennant needs to sprint over my grave for a Doctor Who episode, I'd be like, yeah, that's fine. Or I'll put it in my will that my estate shall approve this request.
It feels like one of those things, like where it's probably like the graveyard have gone, yeah, no worries, give us $1,000 and then you can do it. Yeah. But then, like, I don't know, feels a bit.
You can't be tracking down all those families.
No, I know, but I feel like you should.
It's a bit dirty, yeah, but there's probably rules we're not privy to.
Yeah, maybe, I don't know. But I don't know, it feels odd.
Yeah, when you're born, you have to sign your parents sign a waiver that if you die, they might film an episode of Doctor Who on a grave. There's nothing you can do about it.
Everyone on the death certificate, your family has to mark if you die in Wales.
It's only in Cardiff.
If you die in any graveyard in Wales, then your family have to put on your death certificate whether or not your grave can be included in an episode of Doctor Who. Or not.
And then if you tick no, you can't be buried in Wales. They just tip you into a furnace.
That's horrible.
We have fun here.
I quite enjoy the graveyard scene though. It's quite cool when the Cybermen like just come out of the mist and stuff, and then again we got that sexism because they're like, a woman in the graveyard is bad enough, but you're dressed like a whore.
Yeah, your apparel is filthy. She looks
You're wearing
great.
red, woman. This is disrespectful.
I've put down. I think I didn't note down the actress's name, but the person who plays Miss Hartigan, right?
Yeah. Was that her name?
That's her. Well, her name is apparently Mercy Hartigan.
Oh yeah,
which is just fucking absurd.
Yeah.
What was that other stupid name in Doctor Who we laughed at for ages, where it was just the character's name?
Yeah, it was the Foster.
Miss Foster.
Miss Foster. Yeah. Did you not wonder about my name? No. Why would I?
I'm Mrs. Adoption Agency.
Oh no! It makes sense now to this plan I wasn't even aware of. No.
But no, so anyway, Mercy Hartigan, right? Like, there's the episode goes on to do what it does with her, but I think this performer has like when Doctor Who introduces a Time Lord,
yes,
as a character, and the actor has to have that source, that slightly elevated source.
I'm gonna ban you from saying the word source. All right. Because you've been,
but you know what it means.
No, I don't. What does it mean?
They have that quality to them where it's like, I don't know, she almost gives off like a Missy vibe. Like it feels like a mischievous, all-knowing type of character.
Yes.
And I remember when she came into the episode, when I was watching it just a couple of hours ago, I was thinking like, oh, maybe I was wrong about this. Maybe this does, because this is a great performance. This feels very sinister. And then it did what it did, and I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
But do you know what I mean? Like, it does feel like she has the caliber to play a much better character than this.
Yeah, I guess. I was probably just underwhelmed with the episode and the character overall, I think. But yeah, I mean, she was good. Yeah. She definitely did have that sinister, like Missy-like nature to her. You're right.
Yeah.
But Missy was also like Victorian-esque and and stuff. So
yeah, that's true. The kind of the long gowns and stuff.
yeah.
All right. Well, anyway, across the town, London
the
town.
Spider-Verse. Yeah.
What did you say?
You said across, and I just went the Spider-Verse.
Okay, good. Just another pop culture reference ticked off there for us.
Yes.
Anyway, across London town, Rosita has prepared the TARDIS, Nathan.
Okay. And what is the TARDIS, Lawrence? Do you have it?
Well, we don't. I do have it. We don't quite get to it. It's teased. The episode goes, Rosita has prepared the TARDIS. Let's sit for a bit.
Yeah, let's go to some stables and look for some luggage for a little bit.
So anyway, that luggage belongs to the murder victim who is bodiless, Jackson Lake.
Yeah.
I wonder who that could be.
Yeah. You have all of Jackson Lake's luggage right here? Seems fine to me. Nothing strange about
that's evidence of what? That he had clothes?
Nothing strange about the fact that bloke went missing and you just have all this stuff, but you also don't really know who you are. There's nothing weird going on here at all. This is all very normal. I'm sure these are entirely unrelated.
Yeah, don't worry about this.
Anyway, fuck the stables. The TARDIS is a big hot air balloon, Lawrence.
No, Nathan, I'll have you know that it is in fact
tethered aerial release developed in style.
Did you just
Awful.
Google it?
No, I listened to the episode.
Okay, you asked me if I had it.
And I also had it.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
Never before have I heard a more desperate attempt to fit into an anagram.
Yeah, it's 100%. Makes no sense when you think about it.
I don't mind tethered aerial release, but developed in style is just frankly stupid.
It reminds me of one of those one of the lines from, I think it was one of the first episodes of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., that famously very good TV show, where someone asks, what does S.H.I.E.L.D. stand for? And they were like, Strategic Command, whatever. And they're like, and what do you think that means? And then he just says, sounded like someone really wanted our initials to be S.H.I.E.L.D.
Yeah.
And it's just like, you just worked backwards from what you had.
Yeah,
and then,
you thought of a cool word, and then went, how does this work out? Yeah. Look... I'm gonna say I understand the point is a letdown, but get the fuck out of him.
TARDIS. He's not gonna have a TARDIS, is he?
I know, and I get that it's supposed to be the final piece of this man is obviously not the Doctor.
Yes,
but you've been teasing this TARDIS all episode.
But what was the point? What was you expecting?
I don't know, just something cool. Exactly. Even just I would have preferred it if it was some sort of portable fucking something that resembled the TARDIS at least.
See, I think the basket of the TARDIS should have been blue because then it could have been a blue box, sort of thing as well.
Oh, that's so much cleverer, yeah.
Yeah, but the balloon was blue, so that's something at least.
And there's just a guy. There's just a little ward that sits there waiting for them, in case they ever want to take off.
Yeah, and Jackson Lake apparently just pays him I don't know, £100 a day or whatever.
Just an absurd amount of money to sit down.
Yeah, and he's just like, "Oh, thank you, sir." And the Doctor's like, "Oh, you got a lot of money. What's going on here?"
Yeah, one can say you might be a real person.
One can say you might be Jackson Lake.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
Did you get some deja vu in a certain Cyberman scene? Which had a good old Mercy telling the cyber old men, the old bastards that have now all got their ear pierces in.
Yeah.
Right, ear pieces. She starts going, turn left, turn right.
You're doing the old bloke from...
Yeah, it's the old Cockney guy.
Look to the left.
Yeah.
And look to the right.
I'm almost certain he even says something to the effect of, I could do that all day, or you never get tired of that, or something.
Maybe. Doesn't he play In the Jungle or something?
Does he?
Yeah, I'm sure he plays In the Jungle.
When they walk off? Oh, he does, yeah, because he marks out the sound of them screaming or something.
Oh, boy. Yeah.
That's the one. So anyway, we get the reveal. the episode finally lets us in because we've been
I'll tell you
starved for knowledge.
It's a decent reveal. It's let down by the fact that, I know. Because I'm not a fucking idiot. I figured it out.
It's so blatantly clear.
Yeah. But it's well performed though, I think. I think the saving grace is the two Davids up there doing their stuff, and they are doing a good job, I think.
I think this is where it culminates in, like, David Morrissey was a popular fan casting for the Doctor. And his natural, but to be honest, any British man, you could throw a stone and you'll find a theory about him wanting to be the Doctor,
And also the British tabloids just made shit up as well.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
They were just like, fucking Will Smith rumored to be the next Doctor. I'm like, okay. I think I remember when Matt Smith was leaving, it was, Billy Piper rumored to be playing the next Doctor. I was like, sure, mate. Yeah, I'll believe that one.
Hey, that seems like it could really happen. They just dig for the most absurd thing. But no, I like that this reveal is like, this is where the episode ends for me in my head of being good.
Okay, yeah.
Because they reveal it. It's a great concept. I love the idea of just a man who basically lost his entire world in a second suddenly, and then basically like fugue stated his way into, and then like the memories that he lost were replaced. That's why he feels like he's this half Doctor-esque character, but he knows there's something wrong. Like,
he was so traumatized that he escaped from his own life into the Doctor's. Yeah, basically.
And I love that concept.
Thanks to the help of the info stamp. And it's an interesting concept. It definitely is. And like I say, it's really a good reveal. David Tennant always nails those, like, I've got bad news to deliver sort of thing.
Well, he does until a certain scene in this episode. I think. What's no, not necessarily bad news, but
is it where he reveals he's the Doctor, and then he goes, the one and only.
Yeah,
and it's like, I was a bit like salt in the wound.
Yeah, it was a little bit like, fuck you. Yeah, never mind your fucking mental crisis going on. He literally Jackson Lake is sat there, right? He's literally just remembered the death of his wife.
Yeah.
And he stood there cradling, head in his hands, and and he's like, so you're the Doctor? And he's like, the one and only, baby! Gives him a little wink.
Al, you're not the Doctor.
Yeah. I would say he then spends the rest of the episode rubbing it in. God, I've got some thoughts on the rest of the episode. But yeah, great scene. I do quite like that there is this kind of saving grace to Jackson Lake. Like, it's not just been an embarrassment of a couple of days for him. Yeah. Where he's like, the Doctor does confirm, like, the info stamp just imports facts and figures, but the bravery was entirely from him. Like, he was still, I know he fucking delusionally believed he was the Doctor and was probably like, my life is fine, I'll just regenerate, blah, blah, blah. But like, I still do like that Jackson Lake's heart is one of a brave man, if that makes sense. Yeah,
he's willing to rise to the occasion, and he straps on that belt full of cyber bombs or whatever.
The bandolier.
The bandolier, yeah.
I'll be honest, that's hard. That goes off. I love that.
It kind of does go hard, to be honest, but it's still very funny. Yeah. Watch out, he's got a bandolier of information.
Oh no, he's going to shoot maths at me.
But turns out that's lethal somehow.
That quite literally saves the day.
Yes. So these crusty old Cybermen, not the Cyber men.
Yeah, I know, like the crusty old boys.
Yes, the old men who are Cyber boys. Yeah. They're taking all the kids or whatever. They're like, come on, kids, we need to work on this thing, this big giant boy or whatever. Yeah. So they're just gathering.
But that's their
all
whole
of London's,
job, by the way.
Yeah, all they need to do is just gather the kids and bring them to the fucking factory. That's their whole, and then she just kills them after. They're essentially fucking Uber Eats drivers.
Yeah.
That's essentially what they are.
Just delivery boys.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think What's possibly more efficient at doing that is a terrifying Cyberman.
Yeah, probably.
Than just an old guy who was a bit more vacant than he used to be.
I think it's because like they own the workhouses, so that means somehow they're able to just get the kids in the middle of the night. But like,
that's not how it works. And also, the Cybermen can do that.
Yeah,
like,
just
you're about
round
to
them up.
unleash Megatron onto the fucking city. Like, the rules are out the window. It doesn't
just
matter.
round them up. Yeah, I'm pretty sure the kids who went to the workhouses, like they were in the workhouses because they had like no families or anything, and they were like street urchins and poor or whatever.
Yeah.
So like, surely their families are not going to stop like fucking, just.
And also, and if their families are like, no, actually that doesn't. I'm calling HR about this. They'll just kill them.
Yeah,
it doesn't matter.
Yeah, just get a cyber shades on it. They'll do it.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, they would have been quick as well because that's their purpose, isn't it? They're like sheepdogs. They could herd the children.
Exactly. They have that little dog boy run, so they can do that, or they can just drive a car around, I guess. So
yeah, one of the two.
Depends what you need them for.
I did like that. There is a really funny scene because the doctors run off to kind of figure out what's going on, but just before Rosita joins him, there is this really funny scene to me that made me laugh. And it's just after that, like, the doctor has been like, the bravery of Jackson Lake, like, that's all you know, the doctor is just this in your mind, but you're the brave guy here. And then Jackson Lake, the doctor runs off, and Jackson Lake heroically stands up, and he's like, the doctor needs help. He should always have someone by his side. And then there's just this second that he's like, go on then, fuck off. That's on you.
You go.
Yeah, and it just really fucking got me.
It's quite funny.
But yeah,
I'll be honest, the rest of this episode all just blurs together in just a big mess of nothingness for me, because it's all just
a mess of nothingness.
Yes, really. It's all just very bland and speeches about kings or whatever. I don't know. It's all fucking vague shit.
All right, so I've got notes. Should we go through them?
Yes.
The Cybermen have their legs on silent. Great line.
Oh, that was a good line. Yes.
And very true. They famously can turn them on and off.
Yeah.
If they need to do sneakies. I fucking laughed so hard when, I don't know why, it just caught me off guard, because it's like not really an effect we've seen from Doctor Who before. When the Doctor throws the Cyberman the information stamp, or the info stamp, right, and he plugs it into his chest, and then we just do a hard zoom into the Cyberman's
into his eye.
Yeah. And we do like a clip show of the epic 10th Doctor moments.
Yes.
And then he's like, you're the Doctor, and David Tennant's like, yeah.
I do remember laughing when he went into his eye, and like that's how he saw he was thinking about the Doctor or whatever.
The episode is, at this point, is terrified you won't get it. It's so funny. We get some Dalek tech.
Yes, they stole a thing from the Daleks.
A dimension vault.
Yeah, it's got some Dalek balls on it. So
that's how you know.
Yeah, it's got the little designs on. So yeah.
My next note just says, OMG, no way, the Cybermen betrayed their human ally and ended up converting them anyway. Who could have seen that coming?
Yeah, so they're like, Miss whatever your name is.
Yeah, Mercy something.
Yes, we see. This is the I don't fully understand what the Cybermen want here, because they're like, we need this woman to somehow get these other blokes to bring us the kids to build this Cyber King, which they build in like an hour or something as well.
Yeah,
I don't quite know what's going on there.
And they've somehow built it under the Thames.
Yes, yeah.
So that's where it's been constructed.
I don't understand it at all, but whatever. And then they're like, and we need you to what? To just become the Cyber King, but we also don't want you to be the Cyber King. So don't be the Cyber King, just be us, I guess.
Yeah, so it was like, they kind of said to her, she'll be the Cyber King.
Yeah.
Or no, she'll be worshipped or something. But then she never assumed she would become the Cyber King.
Yeah.
And then she was like, I don't want to do that. Then they sat her in the chair. And then they made her into a Cyberman, but then they.
But why did they need her to do that?
Yeah, they didn't.
What exactly? Why
they didn't need her? They didn't need the old men.
Exactly. So just a regular Cyberman could have just the guy with the brain on show. Just put him in there.
Yeah.
And they'll be like, I am the Cyber King now. And I'm like, yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah,
You've got
you're the one with a fancy helmet.
Yeah.
I know how Doctor Who works.
But all right, but they need Mrs. Peregrine's or whatever her name was. They needed her to.
Where did that come from?
Oh, there's a movie, Mrs. Peregrine's Home for Peculiar Kids.
Okay. In a way, that's true.
Yeah. They need her to be the Cyber King, I guess. But then she's like, well, actually, I'm going to be the Cyber King. And then they're like, no, don't be the Cyber King. We don't want you to be the Cyber King.
Stop.
Stop. And I'm just like, what is going on?
And this is where the episode gets a bit useless for me, right? Because this is the thing, right? The Cyber King, the reason they go is be the Cyber King. She gets converted, which, by the way,
yeah,
possibly the weakest conversion scene ever.
She's just got like a little fucking.
She's got a little zap.
Yeah, a little zap, and then she's just got this like fucking gold thing on her head. She's got like the Cyberman like the like antenna thing.
But then the werewolf black eyes from season 2.
Yeah, she's got the werewolf black eyes, yeah.
Do you remember season 2 when they had a snippy scissor machine that converted people? And it was horrifying. No, it was scary.
It wasn't, because it was just clearly like a fucking an image that frankly looks like it was generated by a computer from the 80s.
All right, but it's more metal of a concept than just a quick zap to the noggin, isn't it? Like,
I've seen more realistic looking things from a Pixar movie than that.
I take your point. I'm talking the concept at large.
Yeah,
it used to be a lot cooler.
But it was also very vague, though, because it was like, it was snipping and snort and soaring, and there'd be a big laser as well, but then you'd just see a reaction shot, and it would just be like the person was very clearly alive and screaming, but they were apparently getting sawed open, which, look, I don't know how any of that worked, but okay.
Doctor Who isn't known for its adherence to medical procedures and anatomy of the human body.
Also, yeah, I'm pretty sure like someone could be in that machine and like it would be snipping away for a few minutes or whatever, and then it'd be like, no, help, and then like the doctor comes along and gets them out of it or whatever, and then they're just fine. Like they've been in the machine, they've been snipped and sawed
instead of having half a brain open.
Yeah, exactly. Like, oh, thanks, doctor, you got me out of there in time. Okay. Yeah. I guess.
You know what that would have happened, though? The doctor would have sonicked the machine and gone, I managed to get him out of there before the conversion had completed or something.
Yeah. Sure.
And then and for my next trick, just fucking, I don't know, release the flaps of their head and sew them back together with the sonic. Yeah.
Beautiful stuff.
Yeah.
All right, so Mrs. Peregrine is now the Cyber King.
Yes. And this... Go on.
Oh, I don't know. She's just the Cyber King now. But now she's like... Now I'm the Cyber King, and now you'll obey me. And then they're like, "Yeah, all right, we'll obey you now."
Yeah. So this is where it gets a fucking mess.
Yeah.
Right. Because this and bear with me a sec. Right. So if you cast your mind back to season 3.
Yes. I'm doing it now.
Yeah. Thank you. The thoughtfulness of the human Dalek era. Right. The human Dalek arc.
It is a woman, darling.
It is. It's true, Murray Cox. Thank you. Yeah. The thing that worked because you're combining a human being who is, yes, a slime ball and a shithead.
Yes.
But he still has thoughts, feelings, wants, needs, desires, everything else, right? That come with a human being. And you're pairing them into a cased up, machined metal shell of a creature that is devoid of any human emotion whatsoever.
And designed exclusively to kill.
Yeah, so you combine those two things, and it's an interesting concept because it's two completely juxtapositional things that shouldn't align.
Yes.
And it becomes interesting. And I feel like that's sort of what they tried to do. But she's like, I have fury, I have passion. And then the Cybermen are like, no. And then the episode again is later then saved because the Doctor goes, I'm going to make you more human and show you what she's already a bit human.
Well, yeah, I feel like it kind of gets confused in what it's trying to do.
Yeah.
Because it's like, yes, I'll make a new race of Cybermen, and they'll be more superior because they'll have anger and passion and emotions. But then, like, all she's really doing is just the exact same thing the Cybermen want to do. Like, she's not
she's still killing people.
Yeah, she's still just killing and converting people and wanting to turn the whole race into Cybermen. Like, the reason the human Dalek worked and it was interesting is because he wanted to break away from what the Daleks were doing, and he wanted to do something different, and he brought these ideas to the table, which the Daleks were like, oh, hold up now, I don't know about this one.
That's a bit too radical for me.
We're going to have a bitchy session in the sewers about you because we don't like this, okay? So stop.
Dalek Khan became a bit of a hypocrite, didn't he? Straight up killing the human Dalek and then travelling back in time and being like, nah, for real, he was onto something, to be fair. The Daleks suck.
He was a real one, to be fair.
Look how I massacred my boy.
Look, it's messy, frankly. It's just... It's a shame. It's just a bit messy overall, and frankly, a little boring as well. It's like we have this giant Cyberman, Ryan's it, and first of all, it looks like shit.
It looks so bad.
It looks nothing like a Cyberman as well. It's just like various hunks of metal, and I know they're going for this kind of like steampunk aesthetic, like Victorian industrial, like what would a Victorian era Cyberman look like? This industrial sort of thing, but it just looks shit. And like,
and that's what it does look like. What would it look like? Crap.
Shit. And I feel like Christmas specials, they usually get a bit more money to spend on them, but like maybe that all went to David Morrissey because like
I mean it's likely,
because it just did not look good at all.
No. I do.
And
I
then
do
you have the Doctor in like he gets in the David Morrissey's TARDIS, the hot air balloon, but then he's clearly just like in a basket in a studio somewhere with a black screen behind him, and they're like, "Oh, he's in the sky," and I'm like, "Is he? Or is he just a few feet in front of a camera with a wind machine on him?"
The wind machine is so aggressive, and the other characters are in open air as well, and it's not even remotely windy for them.
No, well, they're in the Cyber King, obviously.
Well, yeah, but that's they've got a little exposed chest piece, which is, by the way. You put the heart of your Cyber King in an open fucking column in the middle of the chest.
Yeah, just the video game logic, isn't it? Here's my big glowing button.
Don't attack my red glowing bit. I'll get cross.
I'll get hungry.
I do like the concept of. I know it does. The result of it isn't great, but I do like the concept of the Cybermen are restricted to Victorian technology. And like that, I like the concept of it being very. I mean, they are and they aren't because they've got a big Dalek fucking machine. But then they're also
but they
like,
stole that.
Yeah. Then they're also like, children, do some labor.
And how did the kids build this in an hour? Like that's what I don't get as well.
When you're a starving street urchin, you'll do anything, right?
And then, like at one point, the Mrs. whatever her name is, she just says. We need to accelerate our plans. The Cyber King rises tonight. I guess that's how it works then. It's just we'll just magically have it ready now then because you decreed it so. Okay.
Well, like I say, nothing to motivate a street urchin than a crust of a loaf, Nathan.
I don't think that was even.
No, but they probably think it. They're like, oh, we're getting something out of this. What they're actually going to get is killed. But speaking of all the kids, we've got all the kids.
They're in the Torchwood hub.
Are they in the Torchwood hub?
Yeah, it's that workhouse there. It's just the Torchwood hub redressed.
Oh my god, that makes a lot of sense. Yeah. Was Torchwood over by this point?
No. Well, probably
Children of Earth, maybe.
Children of Earth, I think, came out very early. Like I think it would have come out like the next month because I think it was January 2009 it came out.
So they'd have wrapped the set by this point then, yeah.
And to be honest, that set's not really featured in Children of Earth, so yeah, probably.
Oh. Does it come back for Miracle Day?
No.
What happened to the Torchwood hub? Seems like a crazy piece of infrastructure to just forget.
Didn't it blow up? It blew up in one of them. I'm sure it was destroyed in Children of Earth.
Oh,
because didn't Jack blow up?
Jack was a bomb, and
Jack was. Doctor Who, they love when a person is a bomb.
They really do. We'll get spoilers.
Spoilers. They love when a person is a bomb.
So anyway, the children, right? Jackson Lake is still going. Something's missing. He's finally got up. He stopped having a sulk, and he's that's not fair. He's having a terrible day. But anyway, he's there. He's in the factory, and he's seeing all the kids being evacuated out of the building by Rosita. And I guess the Doctor to a degree, but he's busy doing other stuff. And he's going, something's wrong. Something's, like I'm remembering something. And then we cut to possibly... Right. It's not that it's funny, but it's fucking weird, right? Because the kid just doesn't move or do anything or say anything.
Get the outnumbered boy to play his son.
Yeah.
If you got the outnumbered boy for the episode for him to go, "What's Christmas Day, sir?" why don't you get an actual kid who can act?
Yeah.
To play the integral role of the child in this episode.
It feels like this kid had dialogue, but they cut it all.
It feels like this was like a producer's son or something.
Yeah.
And they're like, "You want to be in Doctor Who?" And he's like, "Yeah, I love Doctor Who." But then he got real shy.
It feels like he had a fucking nightmare on the day, and then and recoiled in on himself. Yeah,
because he does nothing.
The only word he says is in the cheers of "Bravo" later on, and he goes "Bravo" once. That's it. That's the thing, right? Because it's my note just says Frederick is standing on the ledge. Why move, dude? Follow the rest of the kids when they ran out. He's just standing there in silence. He can see his dad. He thought his dad was dead. Say something. This is so fucking weird.
It's all weird.
It is weird. And and then the Jack. This is the personal thing that bothered me because I still care about all the Jackson Lake stuff in the first half of the episode. So when we touch in with Jackson Lake and we have a break from the Cyber Megazord, I'm like, sick. This is the part of the episode I like again. And he's like. Jackson Lake's like, "Doctor, my son is up there." And the whole episode has told us Jackson Lake, albeit a bit of a delusional mess of a bloke right now, is a brave man. Yes. We know two things about him. He's a brave man and he's a misogynist. These are the two things. And it takes a brave man to be a misogynist. In the way
I'm so glad I have that.
No, it was a joke.
No, I have.
It was a joke.
Forever. I'm gonna clip that out.
No. But yeah, no. For fuck's sake, why did I give you that? No, but the thing that fucking just gets me about this scene is he's like, "Doctor, it's my son. My son's up there, Doctor. Can you go get him, please?" And then the Doctor goes up, does something that, all right, it's a bit absurd because he basically chops the string and it goes up like an Assassin's Creed fucking... Yeah,
like a lift in it.
Yeah. He goes up, grabs his son, and then swings him back down. But the Doctor is still... The Doctor doesn't have super speed or strength.
No.
He's still just a person.
Surely, from a writing perspective, if you want Jackson Lake to rise to the occasion and to the whole episode has been like, "Oh, I'm not this great hero figure. Actually, that's a lie. I'm this coward, Jackson Lake." Have him rise to the occasion. Have him do the great thing and save his son. That's what you'd want, but no, just this other bloke.
Yeah, just the Doctor, and they did it. It's so clear.
Just further prove the point that he is great and you are nothing.
Yeah, and that's. It's just one narrative choice that feels so painfully obvious to make. Yeah. And they kind of fucked it. But they just wanted their slow-mo shot of Tennant running out of red mist with a child saving the day. And maybe. And I get it. That's going to be good for your Christmas Day trailer, right? I understand.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
But at the same time, I don't know. It felt like it was just such an obvious thing to get wrong.
Yeah. Anyway, he wins the day because he makes the Cyber King remember that they're not a Cyber King or whatever. And then she gets scared, and then he just makes it dissolve into time or whatever.
Well, there's a few points I want to say.
Oh, dear, can we just move?
No, but in and around this, right? Because there's some absurd things. Right? Okay. I'll be quick. I'll go through them quickly. this episode is going to be really shorter compared to our usual ones.
No one kill yourself.
Stop! Yeah, don't. The Cyber King goes, "Your governments will surrender, and if not, they'll behold my power." And then she just starts obliterating London anyway. There's no... How are the governments going to tell you that they've surrendered?
You haven't given them time.
Yeah, she goes, "Behold my power," and then just starts stepping on and blowing shit up. And they're like, the arms become like a turret and shit. And again, you remember that children built this in an hour.
Children built this out of scrap metal and whatever.
and crusty loaves.
Yeah.
But yeah, so then the Doctor, like you said, he goes up in the TARDIS. Why not take the actual TARDIS? Seems safer.
I thought this as well. It's right around the corner. You have an actual space machine, right around the corner. Just fucking use that, mate.
And he's also, the Cyber King has to turn around. Like, if the Cyber King doesn't turn around, he's just fucked.
Yeah.
Whereas the TARDIS, pull a lever on it, you're wherever you need to be. It's also the only ship out of the two ships that you have extreme in-depth knowledge of how to fly.
Yeah, and like hot air balloons, like you fly those with luck and prayers, mate.
Yeah,
That's
and some sandbags, I guess. Yeah.
Notoriously difficult to control. You land a hot air balloon by crashing it.
Yeah.
So like, come on, man.
Oh, all right. This is Miss Hartigan. If you're wondering why, audience, I am keep forgetting her name, it's because some of the notes have her name, and then I forget it in between reading other notes. Miss Hartigan, she calls the Doctor when the Doctor lands up in his balloon. She goes, she literally says to him, "Yet another man to assert himself onto me in the night."
Yeah, there's this weird, like, they try to make it some, like, feminist thing as well.
Yeah!
You've
lost the moral argument.
They try really hard to be like, "Oh, I'm a woman in a man's world," and actually now we'll have a cyber queen, and you know,
but then we'll blow her up.
But like, I don't know. It's just not great. It's just not a good attempt at all that stuff, really.
Yeah, and also it like, if they are going for that, it paints her in the wrong.
Yes, of course it does.
She's the villain of the piece.
She's the villain.
And she's like, "You can't handle me because I'm a woman with ideas." And it's like, no, I can't handle you because you're massacring London.
Yeah.
For no reason.
It's a strange choice. I can see why they like would want to put that narrative in there, and it can be a good narrative to have. You just have to make it work in a way that doesn't be like, "Well, actually, you all were misogynistic to me, so I'm gonna be the Cyber King and blow up London."
Yeah, and make you all the same. I'm the ruler with ideas and cool things to implement, but my big plan is to make you all the same. Like, I don't know.
Okay.
It's weird that, like, if you're gonna do this, you have to position your feminist icon on the right side.
Yeah.
Like, you can't, like, she, as soon as she gets up, and it's also, the Doctor's there, like, it's not a battle of fucking, like, ethics and sexism and misogyny and everything. It's like, you're killing people, so stop it.
Yeah, please don't do that.
Yeah, the Doctor's like, "You got the wrong end of the stick. That's not why I'm here."
The Doctor gets cancelled for trying to save her day.
Yeah, exactly. The Doctor lands and everyone's like, "You actually should have heard her out." Twitter would have a field day with the Doctor. Anyway, right, so this is something that gets me, right? And just stick with me on this because I find the framing of this very funny. So the Doctor goes up, and his plan, we mentioned it a bit earlier, his plan is to blast the info, what they called, the info spikes?
Info stamps.
Info stamps. The Doctor, his plan is to blast a shitload of info stamps, which have now, he's turned off bomb setting on them, so they're now actually just info stamps again.
Somehow,
yeah. There wasn't a button, but there now is an intention behind them. He zaps her in the head with it, and his big plan all along was to make her see what she's done. Right, I guess zap back the memory of herself into her or something, or like take out the Cybermen ideals or some shit like that. It's very, very vague. And he goes, "I wasn't trying to kill you. But then what ends up happening may as well be, I wasn't trying to kill you. I was trying to give you a mental breakdown so that you kill yourself.
Yeah.
The Doctor is like, I wasn't trying to do it, but look what you've done. Now kill yourself if you're truly on the right side of history.
Does she kill herself? What happens?
She blows up the Cybermen and then she splatters. Almost like, you remember the Slitheen when they got vinegared?
She blow up?
She blows up.
I have no memory of this. I watched this the other day. I have no memory of that at all.
I promise you, she fully blows up. You see the fabric of her red dress snap and she goes like that.
Jesus. Wow.
Fucking absurd.
That's insane.
But then, yes, you're right. The Doctor then shoots the time vortex at her through the info stamp as well, because again, that's something. And then sends it elsewhere to be disintegrated. Bravo, everyone. Bravo, everyone. Sure. The Doctor never asked to be thanked. Let's all give him a big thanks.
Yeah. Yeah. That seemed... I don't know. That scene, it seemed a little bit self-indulgent to me, and it's not self-indulgent because it wasn't the Doctor. He didn't ask for that or anything.
He lands and he's like, "Where's the applause?"
Yeah, where's my worship? But no, Tori, we talked about it so much. 10 has an ego, the biggest fucking ego any Doctor has had, and these just. People feeding into that ego, I don't know. It just feels weird to me.
It does.
Yeah. I know it's fun. It's good to have people thank the Doctor and everything, but I was just like,
I quite like. Know. Oh, Doctor, won't you stay for a Christmas feast? Ask me twice. Fuck it. I'll stay, but you have to beg.
No, I kind of liked that. I kind of liked that he stuck around for Christmas dinner, but he took him some convincing.
Yeah,
I know. I like that they were good mates. It seemed like. Two misogynistic boys together.
Yeah. The Doctor's like, you've got so much to teach me over dinner about sexism.
Exactly.
Yeah. The Doctor's got a few sexist stories of his own that he could share, I'm sure.
I'm sure he does. But yeah, they wrap it up. They have a Christmas feast, and that's pretty much it. That's where we leave it.
Jackson Lake gets a TARDIS scene. He gets an actual TARDIS scene.
Oh, he does. Yeah, he goes into the TARDIS. Yeah,
I like that. It's the way he's like, this is nonsense.
Yeah, pretty fun. Pretty fun stuff.
If I was the actual Doctor, he's like, this is silly. This is absurd. This is nonsense. I'm like, well, yours was a hot air balloon, mate.
This can actually travel in time and space.
Yeah, so those in glass houses, yeah.
He is right, though. It is nonsense. It does look awful.
No, it looks fantastic, and he has to leave because he's so overwhelmed by the sheer power of the design.
No, I'm so happy it's almost over. Well, yeah, that's pretty much it. Should we move on to Weirdos? Because I've had nothing to say about this episode for the past 10 minutes now.
Okay, all right, let's do Weirdo.
Okay.
Weirdo of the Week! Weirdo.
This is Weirdo of the Week. This is everyone's favourite segment of the show where we get to take a chance to look back on some of the weird and wonderful and grubby little characters who come across our screens each and every week. Lawrence, please, I'm dying to know who you are choosing to celebrate as your weirdo for this week.
So, a little piece of my childhood was reinvigorated today while watching this episode.
Oh, yeah.
So my childhood was fully reinvigorated when I was watching. It was at the scene where the Doctor he's just got in the tethered aerial release developed in style, and he's up, and some little other older street urchin boy, doesn't quite seem like a nobleman or a man of means. He arrives on the screen, he steps straight in a frame, and he goes, "Who the bloody hell is that?" And that is Midnight Beast's very own Ashley Horn.
Who follows me on Twitter.
And I can't... Why does he follow you on Twitter? What did you do? And Yoko Ono.
I don't know. And Yoko Ono. Yeah,
that's so... You have the creme de la creme of talent.
I have I have star of the now largely defunct comedy rap group Midnight Beast, Ashley Horn, who follows me. I have Yoko Ono, who was married to John Lennon and did a lot of her own stuff as an artist and everything else. And I have notorious sex criminal Andy Signor, who used to run Screen Junkies and everything like that until it came out that he was sexually assaulting some of his employees. And he follows me, so I don't follow him.
So when I said the creme de la creme, take it back.
So I think that's the 3 biggest names who follow me for some reason.
I've got Mr. Sunday Movies.
I also have Mr. Sunday
No!
Movies. James follows me too. So.
James, unfollow him. You're not listening.
No, don't. It's all I have. I don't have Mason, to be fair. You have Mason follows you?
I have Mason, I do have Mason.
Yeah, I don't
Mason's
have Mason,
my infinity gauntlet of followers,
Yeah, I don't have that, to be fair. I do have Ben.
Yep.
But
it'd be weird if you didn't.
It would be, because I met him. We had a big hug at your wedding.
Yeah. But anyway, no, so the Midnight Beast, not necessarily a weirdo in the context of Doctor Who, but just a very strange, familiar face to see for pretty much no reason and no real part in the episode.
If you're unfamiliar, the Midnight Beast did that very famous parody of TikTok, the Kesha song, which is like how they blew up. Yeah, I saw them live. I went to see them live in like 2010 or 11 or something.
You used to tease me because they were in my old Facebook bio.
It was more just because your bio itself was very funny.
It was very like a 14-year-old has made a Facebook bio when Facebook was still relatively new.
Yeah.
Yeah. What was it, like Year 9 science fam and stuff like that? It was really bad, wasn't it?
No, it was like hates science, loves Misfits and the Midnight Beast.
Yeah, it's so good I put it twice or something.
Yeah, you had like the Midnight Beast and then later down it you had the Midnight Beast. So good I put it twice.
Shit, I was so cringe, man.
Oh, it was very funny when I think it was me and who found that. Your wife who found that.
It was, yeah, and
yeah. Can I say her name?
She I think you can, but she never likes it, so.
Oh, okay.
So don't. Yeah.
Okay.
Otherwise, I'll get it in the old neck.
The old ball and chain.
Yeah. So good I put her twice. Yeah.
Come on, though.
Sorry. Nathan, who is your weirdo?
I purposely didn't bring it up during the episode, and I'm glad it wasn't brought up.
Okay.
But my weirdo for this week is Russell. I love it when I bring up Russell as a weirdo.
Yeah.
Russell T Davies. For a writing choice. And in an episode of strange writing choices, this one is... It's not strange. Well, it is. But it's more problematic than strange.
Okay, right. Yeah. And we missed it because we talked about the sexism.
We did talk about the sexism. This is a little bit different. Okay, so we have... the character of Rosita, okay? And Rosita is very clearly we have the Doctor and we have the Doctor's companion, okay?
Yeah.
And the character is called Rosita, and she's very clearly supposed to be like an amalgamation, a mix of all 3 of David Tennant's companions, okay?
Yeah.
So we have... Her name is Rosita, okay? So,
and the Doctor's like, that's a fucking great name.
Yeah, exactly. She's got Donna's fiery, sassy personality. She's very quick to argue back and put the Doctor in his place. And then we have Martha. Apparently, what Russell seems to think Martha's defining character trait is... And, it's that she's black. And it just seems so fucking weird to me that like you don't want to put a little bit more of Martha in there, not like a medical student or anything medical or anything else,
or just like a defiant spirit, a very like tells the Doctor, claps back at him more so. Donna's sassy but up for a laugh, whereas Martha is more like, will give the Doctor a fucking shitty time if he's being a shitty.
It just seems strange to me.
Yeah.
It seemed like this is the one way that we can define Martha, and yeah.
And it doesn't even really make sense, because like Rosita's just a person. Like,
Yeah.
yeah. There's other elements of like I don't necessarily think that maybe we're not the people for this, but there are other mishandled elements of like the fact that Rosita is black and how that is brought up in the episode, and like,
is it brought up in the episode?
Not her skin color directly, but it's very like their relationship is quite transactional. With David Morrissey's character, it's very like at the end he's like, well, my son will need a nursemaid, so I'll fucking get her doing that.
Yeah,
and it's it's like if I don't know, maybe this will get cut. Who knows? It feels a little too transactional, their relationship in some degrees. So yeah.
Well, there we go.
Not a great show from Big Russ.
No, just a little bit strange, a little bit problematic, a lot weird. So there we go.
As these weirdos often are.
Yeah.
Nathan, I didn't know if you know about this, but this is the part of the show where we get to hear what the people say. You can, if you're listening to this, you can write in. If you follow us on Twitter, at Still Got Legs Pod, you will get little tweet reminders when we are about to record new episodes, so you can have your say. Nathan will put the tweet out. You can respond to that tweet, or you can email us at the email stillgotlegspodcast@gmail.com. You can have your say, and we are going to hear what the good people say now about the next Doctor.
In a segment I like to call Still Got Thoughts.
That's the one, yep. It's new, I forgot the name.
I didn't forget the name. You did, though.
No, I did, yeah.
Yeah. Hello! That was me, by the way.
Hello!
All right, so first of all, we're going to do the tweets as we always do. This one is from Rach at Citing Strange on Twitter. Between the fake out regen last week and the title The Next Doctor, this was RTD deep in his clickbait era. If it came out now, the iPlayer thumbnail would be 10 doing a hands on cheek shocked pose with a big red arrow pointing at Jackson Lake and the text, "He's me?" in all caps at the bottom. Anyway, congrats to Russell for using the most annoying tactics for viewing figures about half a decade before everyone else caught on. But unfortunately, it just goes to emphasize what a dead episode this is. Boring, all in caps. Hard agree there, Age. I have to say, hard agree on all of that. I do like the thumbnail thing. That was very fun.
The thumbnail thing is very fun. I think I'm more warm to this episode than you are. I think it does some interesting stuff, but yeah, it does become a bit of a snooze fest a bit later on.
Yeah. Piers Moore at Piers Moore says, "Load of bollocks."
Just load of bollocks.
Just load of bollocks, yeah.
All right, fair enough, yeah.
The dastardly wizard of Poosh, who you may formerly know as Magnanimous Acorn Holder. I probably said that wrong. Magnanimous Acorn Holder.
Yeah.
At Super Brain. Says, Matt Smith is excellent in this episode. We still have a while until his proper introduction, but he blows it out of the park here. Frantic, charming, and silly, but with this old soul far beyond what his face suggests. An absolute masterclass. Can't wait till you cover his series. And then there's a fun little image of the next Doctor. Like, it's David Tennant and the next Doctor, but it's got Matt Smith's face over David Morris's.
Very good. I like that.
It's very good. Thank you, Soupy Soup Brain. Next, we have Garen at Garanzilla. Russell shat the bed with this one. On the upside, though, this aired the same day as the Wallace and Gromit adventures, A Matter of Loaf and Death. Our favourite plasticine pals are back in action, now running a bakery. All the while, a serial killer is on the loose. Suspense, romance, and Wallace laying pipe. This film has it all. While it is in the shadow of better shorts featuring the duo, Aardman, as always, deliver on the heart and hearty laughs we've come to expect from these cheese-loving boys. I do love Wallace and Gromit.
You've been on an Aardman fix, haven't you, of late?
Well, I've watched the 2 Chicken Run movies recently.
Yeah, Dawn of the Nugget.
Which I enjoyed. I enjoyed them quite a bit. But no, Aardman always do a good job. I always, there's something about Christmas Day. They always have like the wrong trousers on, don't they, or something?
Oh, yeah. I always wanted their machine that like transported them out of bed and like into their trousers with their tea and.
Well, they have lots of machines. That's the thing. Like Wallace is an inventor, isn't he?
I that's true. Yeah. I always loved it. I keep seeing it every now and again pop up on Twitter of like one of the funniest jokes of all time is just the simplicity of like Gromit threatening the penguin and the penguin just pulling out a handgun like a regular pistol.
The penguin was an absolute menace.
He was a fucking freak.
He was terrifying. A penguin. He was like a mob boss or something.
He was, yeah.
He was horrifying.
Yeah.
I do love Wallace and Gromit, yeah. Thank you, Garenzola. Hard agree. Damn the Lamb. Damn the Lamb says, honestly, barely remember this one. I think it's fine up until the end where it gets a bit too ridiculous, even for my taste.
Yeah.
When we're talking about Doctor Who, you know that's a big thing.
Yeah. You really have to push the boat out to find a point that's too ridiculous for this show.
Yeah, exactly. I do, however, remember enjoying the Doctor projecting his past faces onto a wall. We'll see another great version of this in a few episodes' time.
A much better version of it.
11th hour. Yeah, indeed. Thank you very much, Damn the Lamb. We then have Batothy Pie, who says, I've watched a lot of 10 and 11 eps on repeat, but honestly, I don't think I've seen this episode since the initial broadcast. I remember the weird furry Cybermen being fun, and the Sonic, in quotation marks, screwdriver, having a stupid, funny explanation. But beyond that, I've got nothing. Was it good? ? No.
I love that. Like, even still, they're just like, well, I'm not going to rewatch it, so you tell me.
Why would they?
Yeah,
I don't blame them at all. Kendall Roy's sad pointy ears. Skip. Also, can you be nicer to Lawrence, please, Nathan? I know he's wrong all the time, but let him do a bit once in a while.
I'm not sure how I feel about this.
I'm not mean. I think I'm very nice to you.
There's certainly an element of your meanness in this show.
Yeah, but that's just fun, though, isn't it?
Listen, we do a little bit of bravado for you guys. Right? we accentuate a bit of jazz.
I feel like I'm a very nice friend to have.
You are a nice friend to have. I would appreciate a bit more commitment to my bits, even if you don't like them.
I will never.
But then I'm not on the side of Kendall Roy's sad pointy ears because they've just said even though he's always fucking wrong or something.
Well, you are. So
listen, I'm not having this. Move on.
They're right in that respect. Thank you. I can't promise I'll be nice to Lawrence. I can't. He's
honest. At least.
At Robert Vasquez, at RW Vasquez says, so did Jackson Lake find a brown jacket because he knows the Doctor loves his brown suit? Or did 11 go on to wear tweed because he knows it's what the next Doctor is supposed to wear from Jackson Lake? Also, between the subtle, was the important line and Jackson Lake screaming the Doctor's praises, it's easy to see how Russell meant for these specials to build into the finale, even if this episode doesn't stand as well as on its own. In terms of the jacket, well, he just picked it up from a hospital, didn't he? He was just like, this looks good.
Well, the tweed jacket, yeah. Yeah, like a little changing room kind of thing, wasn't it? As for Jackson Lake's jacket, I think, like we said earlier in the episode, I think it's just coincidence that they happened to pick a fancy dressed man, and he went, what's my most extravagant jacket, and put it on.
I don't think 11 put any thought. I don't think the Doctor ever thought about Jackson Lake ever again after this day. Yeah. I think that once 10 left, after he had his Christmas dinner or whatever and he left, he never thought about this adventure ever again.
He forgot about him so quickly. As we'll come to learn is the trademark of the Russell era of being like, goodbye, my sweet friends. I'll embark onto another life where I will never think about you ever again.
Indeed. Tanner Moore at Tanner Moore 15 says, it's definitely an episode. I watched it last year and felt that once was more than enough.
That's fair. Yeah, I will probably never watch this episode again.
Yeah, so. I do not blame you all. I can't imagine I'll be in a rush to watch this anytime soon.
Yeah.
I'll probably watch it again. I'll occasionally do a Doctor Who rewatch, but I won't be happy about it. That's for sure.
Yeah.
Just like the Cybermen in this episode who want to crush the creativity. Oh, sorry, this is from Kai Armstrong at Kai without a K. Just like the Cybermen in this episode who want to crush the creativity and individuality of humanity, Nathan wishes to crush our creativity and for us to conform with the regular Twitter logo.
Yeah!
This is unexpectable and we deserve our Cassandra, not the basic podcast layout.
Hard agree.
Lawrence, you better shut up.
Still got legs nation rise up against Nathan's tyranny.
He's not tyranny.
He changed it back, by the way. He changed it back after Cassandra, and I put it back as a kind of a collage of a terrible likeness of Clara and her action figure. And then I just got a call from him in the middle of the day. I think was it yesterday or the day before?
It was yesterday. Yeah,
yesterday. A call from Nathan in the middle of the day yesterday, just going, "Explain yourself."
Yeah, because I changed it, and it was only because someone tweeted in, "I like your banner," and I was like, "What's going on here? Some mischievous nonsense is going on." So I had to take a look.
Nathan is an oppressor.
Stop doing it.
He's locked. He's threatened to lock me out of the Twitter if I keep changing it. And he can do that. I am very unorganized.
No, I'm just trying to build something, Lawrence. Okay.
I think we need to respect our listener base and what they want. And the poll was extremely clear. That's all I'm saying.
Okay, but
it was like a 70-30 split. And I don't know who those 30 are, but you're all bootlickers, all right?
They're on the right side of history. Okay?
No, they're not.
Yes. Look, okay, but it's a poll I never agreed to. If we had said, like, yes, we'll have this poll and we'll stick to the decision and whatever the results may be, then yes. But that was never discussed. It was never agreed upon. You just went rogue and decided to do this.
I won't stop.
So,
I'll never stop until you lock me out.
Well, I will lock you out.
I'll fight until the day I can no longer fight.
This is from, and this was this morning, okay? This was a few hours ago, okay?
Yeah.
From Greg Cactus Face. So, Greg, you're very lucky because we're recording this episode later than usual.
Yeah.
And if we'd recorded it at the usual time, you would have missed the boat, unfortunately.
The Greg Cactus Face streak would have ended.
This is 4 different tweets from Greg Cactus Face, okay? And the first one just says shit. Okay. Then the next one. In this episode, information of the Doctor is projected onto a wall. In real life, baseball is projected onto screens around America.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
Tweet number 3. This episode features a giant Cyberman rising out of a poisonous muck, the Thames. In the never-ending story, a horse sinks into a poisonous muck. Which is true. It's just true.
I get the feeling that Greg Cactus Face knew he might have been late for this and was rushing
these. Then the next tweet is, sorry, boys, I fucked it up this week. You're absolutely fine, Greg. You don't owe us anything, okay? It is luck. You, to be honest, we paused the recording for you. We saw that you hadn't tweeted, didn't you? So I was like, no, we got to hold off until Greg gets
We will wait. We will. Yeah. If it's possible, Greg, you have until Mondays at 8 a.m. until we need to record.
That's not true. We won't wait, Greg. But it's just very coincidental and lucky this week. But good job. You got in there. Well done.
Nice.
We're going to move on to the emails.
Nathan became the toy maker for a moment there.
Yes. This is an email I received 10 days ago from Joshua Johnson. You may remember.
Yes.
Yes. Hello. This is an episode I consistently forget about, and that is doing it a disservice. I love David Morrissey's bootleg Doctor with its sonic screwdriver because it makes a noise, and his tethered aerial release developed in style. It is a crime that we didn't get a full run of Morrissey Doctor, as I think he would have killed it. But unfortunately, he's just Jackson Lake. I think he would have done a good job too, to be honest.
This is the thing, right? This is why there is a silver lining to this episode. David Morrissey would have made a good Doctor, but he's also a very boring choice. Like, in the sense that he's a great performer, but I had never ever once thought of Ncuti Gatwa as a Doctor. And
you're a racist.
Yeah, well, no, obviously, yeah. No, but what I like about it is it makes you think. A Doctor Who casting, I like it at its best when it's someone I've never considered. Never heard of Matt Smith. David Tennant was like not unknown, but doing very small, silly bits, and then got massive off Doctor Who. Ncuti Gatwa, Sex Education, a well-known name. Never thought about him as the Doctor, and then obviously that makes so much sense. Whereas David
Peter Capaldi.
Well, Peter Capaldi was often thought an impossible choice, and I like because of his previous appearances in the Doctor Who-niverse.
Oh, yeah, true.
But I like, again, a really interesting choice. Just a complete departure from the youthful young man who was often an optimist. Quite a very interesting choice.
I will say I'm very excited for when we get to the Capaldi years because I have a clip that I can play.
Of me?
Yeah.
Oh no! What is it?
And I'm not going to say no, but it's from an early podcast of ours that we used to do. But yeah.
Oh no! Am I really rude?
Well, I have a clip.
I mean, in fairness, that was 2016.
Yeah.
Cut me some fucking slack.
2017, I think.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, in that case, then yeah. Fuck me.
My belly's rumbling, excuse me. The Dreadnought class Cyber King is sick as fuck. Slightly shaky CGI aside, the idea of a steampunk Cyberman Titan is effortlessly cool, and the ideas of a battalion of those stomping across the battlefield during a cyber invasion just make me shake my head at the fact they were never used again. I stand the Cybermen, if you couldn't tell.
I think they're crap.
I think they're used crap. They're used.
Okay, yes.
Yes, like what Josh is saying here, I think that would have been very cool if we did have that. But
we've seen cyber invasions before where they just didn't do this.
Well, yeah, but we've seen a lot of things before where they didn't do that.
I mean, that's true. Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, my weirdo is Jackson Lake's child for how unfazed and statue-like he is throughout the entire climax. Kids didn't give a single fuck, but would be screaming. What does he get up to today if this shit just bores him? Also, a weird choice from 10, assuming that the kid would hold on. If he misjudged that situation, would have been a shocker. That's very funny. Sorry for the long-ass email. I just love talking about this show. You don't have to read the whole thing out. Well, I did.
Tough.
Keep up the good work, boys. Yeah, tough. We'll read it all out. Keep up the good work, boys. Can't wait to see your thoughts on the Moffat era. We're very close, and I'm very excited.
We are.
So there we go. Thank you very much, Josh. Now I have to find out where my new emails begin. Here we go. This is from Sam Nixon, our good friend. Hello, Nathan and Lawrence. Lawrence, in response to asking if you and I were boys because I came with proof that the blue suit is better last week, I can confirm we are.
Hey!
While I do think the blue suit is better, Nathan also controls what is read out on the pod, so I've got to keep him sweet.
Okay, yeah, all right, I feel that. I also do the podcast with Nathan, so occasionally I'll chuck him a bone as well.
Okay, right. Enough of this.
No, we're boys. We get it.
Sure, I don't like this.
We understand dealing with the tyrant Nathan and his oppressive ways with the Twitter banner.
Oh, I just read this next line, for fuck's sake. Also, I deleted the artist formerly known as Twitter a few months ago, but Nathan, you really should change the banner back to Cassandra for democracy's sake. Okay. P.S. I guess the next Doctor's fine. Crazy everyone in Victorian London forgot the Iron Giant happened. Kind regards. Yeah, they also forgot there was a big dinosaur there as well. They forget a lot of stuff.
They do, yeah.
Yeah.
And they couldn't write anything down. I don't blame them. I mean, they could.
They very much could. No. Are you saying the written word hadn't been thought of in 1850?
No, but it's not going to spread too far, is it? They're not going. It's not going to leave London.
Yes, it will.
No, it's not like Twitter.
From all over. We had books from all over the world. We had news about what was going on in other countries.
Yeah, all right, it was a dumb thing to say.
They couldn't write anything. Every now and then you say something which is so fucking stupid.
Fuck's sake.
But what was it last week? You
the fucking hydrogen bomb thing.
Oh yeah, you didn't think of the fucking nuclear bombs and nuclear bomb.
I called Nathan the next day and I'm like, I sounded like a fucking idiot, and I'm so pissed off that is in the episode.
It's funny though. It's very funny.
Yeah.
Thank you, Sam. I'm not changing the Twitter back, but thank you.
The tyrant continues.
I'm not a tyrant. I'm trying to build a successful
you can't
podcast.
touch the Twitter banner. You're a little social media fucking manager.
Don't put this voice on me, all right? Fuck you.
I'm Nathan.
Fuck off. This is from Ty Rotherham. Hi, Nathan. Hey, Nathan and Lawrence. I really appreciate and adore the pod as someone who only started watching Doctor Who for the first time back in November. A new fan. Welcome. As a fan of Tennant, I decided to give things a go with the 60th, and this time it finally hooked me. So much so that I'm now up to date with all of Doctor Who from 2005 to 2022, and the specials from the new series. Jesus Christ.
That's a fucking marathon.
That's impressive. Yeah. It's honestly become one of my favorite TV shows of all time, and listening to you guys during that time has only boosted my enjoyment. Thank you very much. That's very sweet. As for this week's episode, it's fine. Morrissey has.
I love how everyone rides so high in their initial thoughts of like, here's some stuff I want to say to you guys, and then as for the episode, it's mostly shit. Yeah.
Morrissey's a really great guest star, but beyond all that, it just feels a bit meandering. I'm really looking forward to Planet of the Dead next week because it features one of my biggest holy shit, they're in the show actors in my time watching it. I think I know who that'll be.
There's a few options for who that could be.
No, I think there's just one.
There's one big one. There's one that's bigger now.
It's the big one. Yeah, it's the one that's big now. Because they weren't big when they did this, but...
would you not think that there's two? Because now I'm confused about who you mean. Hang on. We're going to have a conversation. One sec.
Anyway, we're back from our conversation.
Yeah, we had a chat off screen.
Yes. Where was I? Keep up the great work, lads. Ty from Calgary, Canada. Ooh. I love it when we get people from like further abroad writing in.
just different countries, you mean?
Yeah, it's exciting.
Nathan's a man of culture.
This silly little podcast has been listened to as far away as Calgary, Canada. That excites me.
That is exciting, yeah.
Our voices are being heard in Canada, of all places.
That is weird that my voice has been played in Canada, yeah.
I love Canada. I've never been. I'd love to go. Seems like a beautiful country. I want to go to a Tim Hortons.
What's a Tim Hortons?
It's like a coffee donut shop, like a Dunkin' Donuts.
Oh, okay.
It's like like a Canadian version of it.
I'd go for one of them.
Oh, hey, how are you? Oh, hey, how you doing there, bud?
This marks our first and last email from Canada, then.
Oh, yeah.
No, you need to stop that.
Okay, yeah, I'll stop. I like doing the little accent.
Yeah.
I love the Canadian accent. It's beautiful, I think. Anyway, thank you. Thank you, Ty.
You don't really hold it up with the reverence of its beauty, if that's what you truly think.
It is beautiful. I was doing like a very stereotypical Canadian accent. But
I think you were trying
Canada's like a big place. It's like one of the biggest countries in the world with like a lot of, I imagine, a lot of different accents as well. But like, yeah.
I like how everyone from Toronto says Toronto. It doesn't say Toronto. Yeah.
I like how Toronto is like, is it Toronto that's always like, oh, this is New York?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
and they're like, oh, well.
What's the one that always gets used in TVs? Atlanta.
No, it's because they filmed like The Flash and everything there as well in
I see.
Toronto. Yeah. Because there was always that stadium and it like appeared in like every single CW DC show. And they were like, we're in different cities, but they all have the same stadium.
There's, that Universal Stadium that is just everywhere in the world, yeah.
Yeah.
We're in different cities.
But also that stadium was like, it was in The Flash, it was supposed to be Star Labs. It was supposed to be like a laboratory where they like all did work, but it's a stadium. But yeah. I don't know. Anyway, good stuff. The Damn Beaver. That's just the name on the email. So I don't know. Hello, boys. Big fan of the show. Hello, boys. Big fan of the show. You two nerdy idiots brighten up my shifts at work, and I can't thank you enough for giving me something to look forward to every week. I wanted to repay in some way, and I thought it would be fun to supply you with some interesting trivia points for each episode of the show. I really hope you enjoy these because I got a few lined up already, and it would be a shame to watch this go to waste. We love Doctor Who trivia.
Oh yeah,
don't we?
We used to play a game called Who Triv, where we'd surprise each other. We'd walk into. We used to live in the same, very close flats at uni.
Next door. To each other.
And we used to just barge into each other's rooms and go Who Triv, and then ask an extremely niche thing.
And I would always get it right, and Lawrence would always get it wrong.
No, I'd get it mostly right, but sometimes wrong. No. I think
mostly wrong. If it's taking too long to get through, then you have my full permission to ignore some of the points. Too bad. We're gonna read it all.
Don't email unless you want us. Exactly. One day, I need someone to email the entirety of a book to Nathan.
Oh, no, don't, because they fucking will.
And then we'll see how committed he truly is.
Don't, no one do that. I'm gonna have to cut that out now because they will. They will.
Coward.
You. Oh well, I don't like you calling me a coward. Now I'm gonna have to.
All right, here's the ultimate end game. Nathan can change the banner back to Cassandra, or everyone send him a book. Any book you like.
I don't like this. I don't like this situation
I've
been
won!
forced into. No, I don't like this at all. I'm gonna go back to this email and pretend none of that happened. Rose, Edgar Wright was originally asked to direct this episode, but he passed on doing it. Can you imagine such a world?
Oh, that I don't know if, but like
quick shots, quick action cuts.
Yeah, but Edgar Wright with such a sourceless piece. Do you know what I mean?
What do you mean?
Like, I love Edgar Wright's direction, but like I usually like it when he directs good stuff, like a good script. And
Rose is good.
Wait, Rose?
Yes.
Are we not talking about this episode?
No, I just said Rose.
Oh, I was thinking about my victory over you. Go on.
No.
Cut that!
I will. Rose. Edgar Wright was originally asked to direct the episode, but he passed on doing it.
I shouldn't have. That would have been really cool.
It would have, yeah. The BBC suggested having Tom Baker be the 9th Doctor to capitalise on the legacy. Russell apparently pretended to consider it, then ignored it. I think good on Russell.
Yeah, absolutely good on Russell.
Yeah, that's like one of those executives thinking they know what they're doing. Yeah. Point like, oh yeah, that'll maybe be a good idea.
I've got Doctor Who. All right, I've got the craziest idea.
No. Other potential 9 Doctors were Hugh Grant. I believe Hugh Grant played... Was it Hugh Grant who played the 9th Doctor in that comic relief thing? Oh, no, was that Rowan Atkinson? I can't remember.
Rowan Atkinson definitely did one of them.
Yeah, but I think Hugh Grant was in that special, though, as well. Maybe as the 10th or 11th Doctor. Bill Nighy, Shane Ritchie, Alan Cumming. Alan Cumming would be good. Alan Davies... Susie Eddie Izzard, Martin Clunes, Richard E. Grant, Anthony Head, and David Suchet. They all seem like Doctor types, I think, really. Not Shane Ritchie. Shane Ritchie would have been bad.
This is the David Morrissey of this. You know, this is what I was saying a bit earlier about these are all the expected choices. These are all the names you hear every single time there's a Doctor change.
Not Shane Ritchie.
Well, all right, no, but like we just said.
Yeah. End of the world. Some scenes on the cutting room floor included a scene where Rose contacts Jackie as the sun rays break through the gallery. Russell had no idea how to budget a science fiction show, resulting in the majority of the entire series budget being used on this episode.
Jesus Christ.
On that episode.
Fuck
wow.
me.
Looks like shit. But no, I guess there's all the costumes and the makeup and the fun little characters. Yeah, that makes sense actually. Yeah. There's a big head in a jar.
Captain Jack in a jar.
No, hope you enjoyed them. I'll be back next week with some more, unless you hated this, in which case, fair enough. We did not hate it. This is from Leah Hatton. P.S. I know what the email address says, but I would vastly prefer if you referred to as Leah in the future, if you can remember. Oh, I see. Okay, yeah, no, that's absolutely fine, Leah. We will call you as such. I didn't even read the email's name, so my bad. Thank you very much, Leah. Please bring us more trivia. We absolutely love that stuff. So thank you very much.
Absolutely.
Where are we now?
I don't know. I can't see the screen.
Shut the fuck up. Billy who? Hello, Nathan and Lawrence. Oh, sorry. Billy who? Still got thoughts on the new Doctor. Hello, Nathan and Lawrence. You've caught me, but mostly it was Catherine, with whom there is, of course, no beef. I have used some rather overly complicated pop science vocabulary in my past emails. I knew it. I knew from the beginning.
No.
Fortunately, this is only something that I do and not something that would ever be included in, say, a 60-year-old national icon of a show. No, that's true. They definitely wouldn't just make up very scientific sounding words just to say, for example, just to explain why an info stamp might shoot out a laser.
Yeah, might say become a bomb.
Yeah. Pop quiz, Lawrence. How many cyborgs were there in this episode of Doctor Who?
How many which ones?
Cyborgs.
Cyborgs? Cyborg definition is like a human split with a robot, right?
Need an answer?
Oh, shit. Cyborgs, I would say 1.
The answer is that depending on your definition of cyborg, there may be too many to count.
Okay.
Of course, we're all familiar with the standard definition of cyborg, that being creatures like the Cybermen who are part robot and part human. But did you know that cyborg has some other and more broad definitions from an anthropological point of view?
Fuck's sake.
Thanks, Billy. Some definitions even go as far as to define cyborg as any person who has any artificial components in their body, such as pins in your bones, fake teeth, or even implants. A few even more broader definitions even go so far as to say that any person who relies greatly on technology can be classified as a cyborg, but that would mean that pretty much everyone on Earth is a cyborg, and at that point, the definition sort of loses its purpose. As always, take what I'm saying with a grain of salt, as after all, I'm just some idiot. Keep up the great work, love the pod, and let me know if these emails ever become an annoyance to you too. They don't, I love them. It's actually very funny, to be honest.
Yeah.
Come on. You're just mad you got rinsed.
I got rinsed and I'm not happy about it. No, I love the emails.
Yeah.
I enjoy just a little insight into a weird world of science I have no idea or context for.
This is from Patricia Laskowska. I hope I pronounced that right. I very much apologize. If not, please feel free to shout at me. Dear Nathan and Lawrence, first of all, don't bother with reading my full name. Oh, fuck's sake. Don't bother with reading my full name out. And I'm
at least
Polish,
we know you never read these ahead of time.
Yeah, exactly. That proves it. I'm Polish and I'm aware that my name is a disaster to read in English. With that, I'm sorry if this email is written poorly. English isn't my first language. Don't apologize for that at all. I just wanted to thank you guys for the podcast. I'm pretty new to Doctor Who community, and this is the only Doctor Who podcast I know and listen to. So I guess you're right when you say this is the only one in general. I told you. Yep. You have proof.
There you
it's
go.
The only one out there. I haven't watched Doctor Who as a kid, and I started watching it recently. I'm currently watching the Capaldi era, so much like for Lawrence, I will turn into a watch podcast for me in the future.
Nice.
I really enjoy your memories of the show from your childhood. Actually, we have been saying, let's not spoil stuff of people who haven't watched it, and we're like, is there anyone who really hasn't? Now we have proof that
there's definitive
is. So
proof.
Actually, so yes, it's good that we're bleeping stuff out, actually.
Yeah.
Did you hear that?
Me!
Did you hear that?
Was that your stomach?
That was my stuff.
Fuck, you know.
Did that pick up?
My man needs a hot meal.
Jesus
my man is out here like the street urchins in this episode, just thriving for a piece of bread. Fucking hell, dude.
I was going to cut that, but I don't know. That's quite funny.
That's outrageous.
Oh, I really enjoy your memories of the show from your childhood, as I never watched the show from a child's point of view. I enjoy it every time you make fun of the show out of the stupidity, because I'm an adult viewer. I can see how stupid and silly this show is, and I'm glad I'm not the only one who can see it.
Yeah.
It's very stupid. But
that's part and parcel with being a Doctor Who
Yeah.
fan. We all know that there's some real dumb shit.
Yeah, it's very dumb, but that's kind of like why we love it. You've made me like Rose and appreciate Martha, so thank you for that, because I was blind not to like them. Or not like this. The brown suit is way better than the blue.
Hell yeah.
And this is the best TARDIS interior even though I also do think it stinks like a locker room. That's fair. I really enjoy Lawrence's opinions in general, and usually I think the same. So Nathan, please stop yelling at us for being right.
Yeah, do you know what? I like this. I'm feeling a lot of vindication from this week.
Lawrence, shut up. Okay. I hope I calculated everything right, and you're reading this as you watch the next Doctor. You have. So here are some of my thoughts about the episode. One, I was very stressed out while watching it. I got into the show because of my adoration for David Tennant, so after the journey's end, I was anxiously awaiting his regeneration. I was glad that RTD didn't torment the modern London with aliens once again on Christmas. Give Brits a break from that. That's a good point.
Yeah.
I hope your weirdo is the kid of the fake Doctor. He is so strange just standing there waiting to die. What was he thinking? He is literally so weird and stupid. I couldn't cope with it. He also has a poker face for the whole episode.
He does. Yeah, he's
funny.
completely expressionless. Yeah.
I love the tethered aerial release developed in style joke, and if you didn't laugh, you're wrong. I laughed, but I don't think for the reason that the show intended.
I was laughing at, not with.
Yeah.
I just realised, though, for a Christmas special, it hasn't got that one Christmas song that they always use.
It'd be even more egregious to put in.
I mean, yeah.
But also, yes, in this Christmas special episode, it doesn't have that song, but it did feature twice in Turn Left, an episode which is not a Christmas special.
That's true. So they've got their quota in.
They've got +1 on the quota because of that. So even if it doesn't appear in the end of time, they're still good.
They're covered. Yeah,
they're covered all their grounds. Thank you so much for the podcast. I listen to your silly little jokes on my way to uni, and you make my mood. As I am now up to date with the episodes, I will probably email you or tweet some more of my opinions and thoughts. Usually the same as Lawrence's, but whatever.
Oh yeah, no, we want to hear, and thank you for the kind words. That's lovely.
Cheers, lads, and greetings from Poland, Pat Laskowska. P.S. I highly recommend watching Good Omens and maybe giving us some thoughts on it on another happy pod. The series is great, and I think you'd enjoy it. I do quite want to watch Good Omens. I like David Tennant. I like Michael Sheen. I like Neil Gaiman.
And do you know what? As the good graces for coming from Still Got Legs, we won't make you fill out the form. We'll just take the recommendation as it is.
Yes, thank you. Thank you very much, Pat. That was very sweet. And another listener from not the UK, so that's exciting. Poland. We're in Poland, baby. We've broke Poland.
Hell yeah. No, hang on.
No, we broke Poland.
Okay. All
right. This is from our good friend David with the Talking Pictures podcast. Hi, guys. Can't put my finger on why this episode doesn't hit. It has some good elements, like how we have a companion named Rosita, the many coincidences that lead Ted to believe that his successor is Morrissey, Fob Watch mostly, and the next Doctor's TARDIS and his naming convention for it. I especially like the contrast between last week's episode where we saw the Doctor's companions turned into soldiers, and this seeing Jackson Lake and Rosita being heroes, even without the Doctor's smarts or technology or lovely blue suit. Ha! It is unfortunate that Ten's legacy will feel like to him that he did turn his friends into warriors as opposed to just being mates like he wanted with Donna. But good to see that he can inspire people to do good, but as a whole, this episode just seems a bit boring overall. Hard agree. I like the idea of seeing a multi-Doctor story from the perspective of the younger two, as we normally get it from the perspective of whoever the current Doctor is. I'm not sure if either of you remember back then, but had Matt Smith already been announced as the next Doctor, or was David Morrissey being advertised as the next Doctor until this episode released? A little bit of both, basically.
They definitely held Matt Smith back a bit for this, didn't they?
Well, yeah, it was released like about 2 weeks or so after this. It was like the beginning of January that Matt Smith was announced.
Yeah.
So yeah, they were purposefully holding that back just a little bit.
Makes sense.
So yeah. My question to you this week is, if hypothetically we could have got a story like this where we are introduced to the next Doctor through the eyes of a previous incarnation, which two would you have liked to interact this way? I think 11 and 12, or even if skipping a regen, 9 and 11 would be interesting, as they're all very different in their approaches. 11 may be worried about how emotionally distant he will become, or 9 seeing how childish he becomes in his later years as 11. Best, David, Talking Pictures podcast, hashtag Justice for Martha. Thank you, David. Interesting.
I would say I would quite like to see like a. I think early 12 would be very pissed off by 11. I think he'd find 11 very irritating. Yeah,
he'd hate him. Yeah,
yeah. So that would be fun. Yeah. And also, I'd just take this moment to say hello, David, and hello, Brian, for two hosts of the Talking Pictures podcast.
Okay.
I have listened. I listened. And no,
I'm glad I made you feel bad enough last week.
You did.
You go and listen.
Look, I was caught out. It's not right. It happened.
I don't think Brian listens. By the way,
no, it doesn't matter. It was mainly just to convey that I know. Okay. I know of Brian. Okay. Brian's sweet Irish dulcet tones.
Yes.
Yeah. No,
he loves Furiosa.
He does. My dog is moving.
Yeah.
All sorts. Yeah. No, I listened to their. I liked their. It wasn't like a best. It was more just like a. It was like a quiz on the 2023 things. We did a year in review over at AHP, but this was more like what's the scariest, what did this the best, and that kind of stuff. And it recommended me a movie. There's a Netflix movie called what was it called? Leave the World Behind or something. They mentioned for it being like a scary movie that I'm going to check out on Netflix. But yeah, enjoyed it. And I'm midway through listening to their episode on The Creator because I quite like that movie. So
I haven't seen it.
It's a good movie.
Well, if only we had another podcast where we could talk about it pretty soon.
Yes, but yeah, thank you. I was bullied. It wasn't right, but it happened, and I have listened now,
okay.
And I will be listening again. I enjoyed the show.
Well, there you are. Thank you. No one asked, but
no, but I couldn't let last week be my legacy, Nathan.
You panicked. That's what happened.
I did. I like. Do you know what? I'm very appreciative that David didn't try and embarrass me again this week. Or, sorry, use Nathan to embarrass me.
Well, I'm always happy to embarrass you. Going back to the question you actually did ask, David, in terms of doctors meeting their future selves, it's kind of happened in... and not just like the most recent example. What I'm talking about is also... Well, not really, but the 50th anniversary special.
Yeah.
Because there's that moment. I won't say what it is, but there's a moment.
There is a moment, yeah.
And not that's confusing because the moment is also a character.
Yeah.
That's not what I'm referring to, but like an actual moment as well.
There's the moment, and then a moment.
There's a moment that happens in that episode.
There's time crash,
but but that's different.
That's an older doctor meeting a.
Yeah, but like specifically in terms of like a regeneration story, like meeting the next doctor before they regenerate, sort of thing.
Yeah, true.
Yeah. I
don't know.
And then there's obviously what recently happened, but
we can't get
spoilers.
There.
Yeah. Spoilers.
But
yeah. I do like the idea of 11 and 12 meeting though, purely because, I think it could be interesting because I think at first, and especially if it's a younger 12, would hate the 11th Doctor because it'd be silly, wacky, and goofy and stuff. But then the 11th Doctor would have like one of those moments where he gets like serious and dark and stuff, and his like and is able to like scare the shit out of everyone. And then the 12th Doctor would be like, oh, maybe I misjudged this guy.
Maybe this guy's got the juice after all. Yeah.
Stop! You're just saying random household condiments and kitchen objects. Okay,
I didn't say sauce.
You're just saying food and beverage items.
Riz.
Okay,
Riz.
Stop this now.
Riz.
Thank you very much, David. This is from Caitlin Clark. Hello, good friend Katie at Arvin, says Kate, who usually tweets in. My girlfriend hasn't got the time to listen to podcasts. In brackets, what a sad little life, Jane.
A very niche British joke.
But I've been showing her snippets of the podcast when we cook in the evening. She really wanted to join in, so we decided my stomach growled again. she really wanted to join in, so we decided from the Stolen Earth to start watching along with you guys. Then we got to the next Doctor, and now she never asked to watch along. She practically begged me not to watch it next week, and who could blame her? It's a boring slog.
Yep.
Ooh, rough. I spent most of the episode last night wondering if I could outrun the Cyberman in the funeral scene. Probably not. I can't even climb the stairs without panting. Then I fell asleep. If you guys had to try and outrun the Cybermen, who would die first? Me. Then you. And then you would last. You'd last longer than me, but not much longer.
That's nice to say, but I don't know if it's true. Do you know what? I feel like we'd stick together. I feel like we could.
I feel like we'd both just give up.
No, we'd form a kicking circle.
Oh yeah, we would.
Yeah,
we'd be like, we're not running, but we're gonna fight.
Yeah, exactly. And if we go down, we go down, but we go down with honor and dignity. I'm not tripping over a grave on my way out.
Yeah, I'd also be too scared to run over graves.
Yeah,
this feels icky.
They was like, this is disrespectful. I'll die instead. Yeah. A principled
as an honourable man would.
Imagine how fucking cringe it would be to die on someone else's grave. Like even your death is shared. That's terrible.
Horrible.
Yeah.
My girlfriend didn't really have any comments to say aside from saying her weirdo of the week is Jackson Lake's kid for having abnormally long eyelashes.
Okay.
I was asleep at that point, so can't confirm nor deny how valid her weirdo is. I think that's pretty valid.
That is pretty valid. And the kid was also asleep at this point in the episode as well.
Yes. Looking forward to next week. In the minority, but I do love the Planet of the Dead. Is that a minority? Do people not like the Planet of the Dead?
I can't remember enough about the Planet of the Dead to have an opinion on it.
I enjoy it enough, I think.
I feel like Jackson Lake's kid would do well in the Planet of the Dead. He'd have the camel eyelashes to beat away all the sand.
Great.
Am I wrong?
I mean, I don't know. Have a great week, friends. Kate. Thank you very much, Kate.
Thank you.
Looking forward. I am looking forward to next week, actually. This is from Jared Coastal, our good friend, who says, "Hello, Docky Poo Pod."
It's juvenile.
This episode features Dervla Kirwan as Miss Hartigan, the actress also famous for featuring in another time-traveling BBC series, Good Night, Sweetheart. Are you two young whippersnappers too young to remember this classic 90s time-traveling sitcom? If you missed it, then check it out. It's filmed in 4:3 aspect ratio, which I enjoyed your recent discussion on during your Star Wars episode.
Discussion is tame.
Discussion is tame.
I think heated row is more appropriate.
All the best, Jared. I know Good Night, Sweetheart. I've seen a few episodes of that here and there. Have you?
That tracks because you are much older than me, and I haven't.
Okay. It's from the 90s. You were alive in the 90s.
I was alive for 3 years of the 90s, and then at my peak of the 90s, I was 3 years old, Nathan.
Okay, but you've also seen stuff from earlier than the 90s.
Yeah, but I haven't seen this. I don't know what you want from me.
No, I have seen Good Night, Sweetheart. Well, I've seen a few episodes of it. So it's it's Rodney from Only Fools.
Okay, yeah.
He's like the main guy, Nicholas Lyndhurst. And I think the premise is that like he's married and he like has a wife in like the present day or what is the 90s or whatever. But then like he has like this alleyway that he can like walk through, and then he like ends up back in the 50s.
Is that his alleyway?
Like,
is no one else walks through that?
No, like only he can do it or whatever.
Okay.
Like, or maybe there's someone else who knows about it, but like it's like his little thing. And then he goes back to like the
no
50s
one come
or
to my alleyway.
Shut up! It doesn't matter.
No girls allowed in my alley.
Shut up! Oh my god! Can you just let me explain this silly little premise?
I will. Yeah.
Show instead of trying to force in your terrible jokes. But like he walks through this alleyway and he somehow travels back to like the 40s or the 50s or something.
Right.
Sorry, stomach. And he has another wife in like the 40s or 50s.
Oh right.
Yeah, so he's just got like two wives.
He's a terrible man.
He's just he's just got like two families or whatever. Yeah, and he gets up to like hijinks, I guess. Yeah.
It's up to hijinks. Hijinks hiding his other wife from his other wife.
I guess so.
In the current day, is his wife from the 50s an old woman?
Well, no, I guess like, oh, I don't know.
She's just dead.
Maybe she's dead. Yeah,
he's never gone looking.
I don't know.
I don't fancy her when she's 90.
I don't know if that's a plot point. I don't know. But when I say I've seen it, I've seen like probably 3 or so episodes on ITV4 or whatever the fuck it was when it played like reruns. But yeah, I do. I know of it. I'm also much more of an Only Fools guy. I've seen every single episode of Only Fools and Horses.
I've seen parts of Only Fools, the stuff that my dad was always watching.
You need to treat yourself and just watch it. Only Fools and Horses is one of those shows where it's like, it really is timeless in that like, not because it is outdated in some respects because obviously like it was written in the 70s and 80s and shit. So not everything they say is
it's appropriate.
What you would say today, yeah. But like, it's just so funny. It just always hits. It's one of those shows that like I think you can watch it no matter like what generation you're from and just find it fucking hilarious because it's so well written and it's so funny. Well, one of my favorite jokes from that show is that Jesus,
you need a hot meal, man.
One of my favorite jokes from that show is that Rodney was like dating a policewoman, and he brought her back to the flat, and she like saw that she had that they had like lots of like counterfeit gear because they sell like like stolen shit in the market or whatever. And like she was gonna arrest him, and he says, "Oh come on, Sandra, I bought you a doner kebab tonight." It's so well delivered. It's so funny.
Oh, come on, Sandra.
I bought you a doner kebab tonight. Oh, it's such a good show. That's why Nicholas Lyndhurst is best. But yes, thank you, Jared, for that. There you go. It's in 4x3, so you'll love it.
There we are.
Because you love anything that's in portrait
it's
mode.
It's not true. I'm not doing this here.
And that, Lawrence, is Still Got Thoughts for this week.
Whoa!
I don't have any reviews. Don't ask me.
Okay. Nathan, I don't know if you're aware of this, but people can leave a review.
Okay, Thank you. There is already this... Oh, sorry. This is 1 star. It's titled Pointless. And it says, there is already the official Taskmaster podcast. And it says, there is already the official Taskmaster podcast, which is superior in every way. This is unnecessary and therefore redundant. Nice try jumping on the bandwagon, but try harder, Jen. The joke there is that was a review of Taskmaster, the People's podcast.
Very angry review of Taskmaster, the People's podcast. Yeah,
and I'll be honest, I've never listened to that podcast. I just went to my like the podcast homepage where all the podcasts are.
Yeah,
and like, hey, maybe you'll listen to this, and I'm like, oh, yeah, but there we go.
Maybe I won't. Apparently,
apparently, there's already an official one. Anyway, we also have another review. This is from someone, and it says, "What a pod, 5 stars. I often tug it to Nathan's velvety." No, I'm not. This is from. Is Jeff Lemon's review gone?
No, surely not.
Jared, Jeff Lemon, your review is not showing up for some reason. I don't know why. So all I can do is read out this one here. The Superior Soup Podcast, 5 stars. I find, you know what? Maybe we should put the reviews to bed. I can't be asked to do this every week. Okay?
We do it. We do enough emails and tweets and stuff.
Just leave a review, and if it's funny, I'll read it out. Okay.
All right, fine. Yeah, fuck it. We'll put reviews to bed. We read enough emails and tweets and stuff. Well, Nathan does. I don't.
Yes, that's true.
But yeah, so all right. From now on, and maybe this is a fitting end of the mysterious disappearance of the email that we read every week.
Yeah, Jared's email, the Jeff Lemon email, isn't showing up, so we'll just I don't know. I think that. That bit has run its course now.
I think it ran its course like 6 months ago.
Come on now.
Oh, it's true. All right. Thanks for listening, everyone. We have another podcast as well, don't we, Nathan?
We do. It's called Another Happy Pod. Some people brought it up this week. They've been letting us know that they listen. That's all good, fun stuff. It's our pop culture show where every week we watch, review, discuss, and then argue about something in the realm of pop culture. Lawrence didn't laugh at my joke. That makes me feel sad.
Sorry, I missed your joke. What was your joke?
I said that we watch, discuss, review, and then argue about something.
To be honest, I didn't pick it up as a joke because it's mostly just a fact.
Great. Well, that makes me feel good. If you like us arguing, then listen to that. Or maybe people don't like us arguing because, what was it, Rach who said I'm too mean to you?
I think we had a few, that you're too mean to me.
I'm not.
I will refuse to change.
I can be meaner.
All right.
I have it in me to be meaner to you.
Okay, and with that very ominous threat, we will see you next week. Thank you very much for listening.
Thank you. Goodbye.